Kejriwal is expected to walk out of jail shortly. Over to you, Riyanka. And cutting across to Soumya, who's also joining us live. As we stay with those pictures, Soumya, it is celebration in full swing for the Aam Aadmi Party. That is also raising loud slogans, calling out Kejriwal's victory after the top court's decision to grant him bail. Over to you.
Yes, well, Suesha, that's correct. We are right now standing outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence, wherein preparations are in full swing to welcome Arvind Kejriwal. They are all Aam Aadmi Party workers and leaders are all set to welcome their leader after 6 months in jail. If we talk about the itinerary, once Arvind Kejriwal walks out of the Tihar jail, he's going to come straight to the Changiram Akhara, which is near civil lines. He's going to come there. He will be received by his party workers there, and from there they will do a road show till the CM's house. We also happen to speak to our MLA Madan Lal, who said that it is a victory for Aam Aadmi Party and for the people of Delhi and for Arvind Kejriwal as well, as because this was a manufactured case. Arvind Kejriwal was arrested illegally because BJP is afraid of him apparently. So this is what Aam Aadmi Party lead MLA Madan Lal had to say. So as you can see the visuals behind me, people have started gathering here to welcome Arvind Kejriwal once he walks out of the jail. Back to you.
All right, do stay on with us, as I'd also like to bring in Riyanka. She is also reporting from outside the Tihar jail, as we are also waiting for those pictures, Kejriwal to step out shortly. Over to you, Riyanka.
Right, Suesha, you know, from any time from now, we are expecting Arvind Kejriwal to walk out from Tihar jail. Currently, I'm present at gate number 4. Initially, this is what we were able to understand, that Kejriwal will be walking out of gate number 4 as he was lodged in jail number 2. But now, as per the security reasons and the request from the Kejriwal side, it seems that Kejriwal will be walking out of gate number 3 any time from now. Till now, there was a delay for the bail order, which was supposed to be arriving at Tihar jail, but that has now come in. The Tihar officials are making all relevant measures, are taking measures and processes that are currently undergoing in Tihar jail. It is expected that Kejriwal will be walking out of Tihar in 10 to 15 minutes from now, as the bail order has already reached. Remember, it is a conditional bail that has been given to Arvind Kejriwal by the Supreme Court. Also, he is being now getting this mega relief. Whether it is the ED case and the CBI case, in both cases, the Supreme Court has granted Arvind Kejriwal bail on conditions that he cannot make statements in terms of the merit of this excise policy case. He will have to submit a bail bond of 10 lakh rupees, and also that he cannot perform his initial duties as a Chief Minister of the National Capitals, so that he cannot visit his office at the Delhi Secretariat, as well as cannot make signatures in official files until unless required by the LG. Also, he has to in fact cooperate with the trial court. Remember, the trial in this case is yet to begin, but it has been understood that he has to be cooperative with the trial court as well. But for now, it is all being awaited when Kejriwal walks out of Tihar jail. Due to the weather conditions, it seems that there is a delay, but any time from now, we've been told that Kejriwal will be walking out of Tihar after 6 months.
Oh yes, absolutely, Riyanka. And the Aam Aadmi Party certainly celebrating full swing. He will be the fourth Aam Aadmi Party leader to walk out of jail after bail has been granted to him. But it has not been an easy fight so far. We understand how the Aam Aadmi Party has termed this a political conspiracy from day one that the investigation began. And both the CBI and ED are investigating this case. But how Kejriwal has knocked the doors of several courts until the top court today granted him conditional bail.
Right, it has been quite a challenge for Arvind Kejriwal in this case. We have seen that there were time and again several hearings and several days that were in fact given, and time and again there was trouble which was initially mounting for Kejriwal. Well, today the bail that was granted to him in the CBI case was on several conditions that I had mentioned earlier, that he cannot perform his duties as a Chief Minister. Although there is a moment of celebration and joy that can be seen outside Kejriwal's residence as well as outside the gate number 3 of Tihar jail, where all the Karyakartas are present. In fact, his family members, including his wife Sunita Kejriwal, have also are present in the Tihar premises, as well as Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann and Sanjay Singh, the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Remember, there is also a meeting that has been called at 8 p.m. today at Arvind Kejriwal's residence, where all the tall leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party will be welcoming their party convener once he walks out. It is now seen that how the Supreme Court have also, in fact, in its order, pulled up the CBI, took a dig at 8, calling that Arvind Kejriwal's arrest was illegal, and also questioned the timing of the arrest, saying that when the ED had given when there was a bail given in the ED case, why did the CBI had to go ahead and arrest Arvind Kejriwal in the corruption angle? So several such challenges that have now been overcome by Arvind Kejriwal. He will be walking out any time from now.
Oh yes, absolutely, Riyanka. But let's not forget that the BJP is continuing to call for Kejriwal's resignation. This even as we must put the entire story into context, and most importantly, what the top court said today. Now, it was a 2-judge bench where both judges delivered separate judgments. However, they concurred that Kejriwal must be granted bail and also wrapped the CBI. Here's what happened.
Unanimous decision by the top court, but split on legality of CBI arrest. After 6 months in prison, Kejriwal has been granted a conditional bail by top court. Kejriwal can neither attend CM office nor sign official files, and will have to fully cooperate with the trial court.
Arvind Kejriwal's big relief that he's gotten from the Supreme Court. It is indeed a moment of joy and happiness and celebration for the Aam Aadmi Party workers and all the leaders who have been eagerly waiting for their leader to come back. And that is what we have seen in the entire reaction that has been coming in from all the leaders' side. In fact, what next in this case? Well, we see that Kejriwal, who will be walking out of Tihar today, will be in fact going ahead and campaigning for elections in Haryana, in Jammu and Kashmir, and that is coming in as a big development, given a strength for the Aam Aadmi Party.
While Justice Kant upheld the arrest, Justice Bhuyan had a differing view regarding the need and necessity to arrest Arvind Kejriwal. Justice Bhuyan said that the CBI's arrest raises more questions than it seeks to answer. Justice Bhuyan noted that CBI did not arrest Arvind Kejriwal for 22 months and arrested Kejriwal on the cusp of his release in the ED case. From Sisodia to Sanjay Singh, SC's order on Arvind Kejriwal has fueled vindication claim by the Aam Aadmi Party netas accused in the excise scam.
A very historic day for all of us. Our beloved leader, Mr Kejriwal, will walk out of jail after his struggle and sangharsh for 6 long months. This is a victory of justice. This is a victory of our constitution, and it is the victory of every single upright leader who withstood all the struggles and challenges and has come out victorious.
बेल के संबंध में जो आज फैसला दिया है वो कई मायने में महत्वपूर्ण है। आज माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी को भी एक बहुत बड़ा संदेश दिया है कि तुम्हें अपनी तानाशाही बंद करनी पड़ेगी। आज माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मुंह पे एक कड़ा तमाचा है कि आप एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग कर रहे हो। आपने एजेंसियों को अपना केज पैरेट बना के रखा हुआ है।
मनीष सिसोदिया जी की रिहाई, उसके बाद बाकी सारे लोगों की रिहाई और अब हमारे पार्टी के मुखिया अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की रिहाई ने यह साबित कर दिया है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के झूठ का पहाड़ ध्वस्त हो चुका है।
And ally Congress has been quick to jump to attack the central agencies.
पहले हेमंत सोरेन जी, हमारे झारखंड के गठबंधन के मुख्यमंत्री को जमानत और अब अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को भी जमानत मिल गई है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उनको ये पाया है कि ये केस जमानत के योग्य है। जन्नाटेदार करारा तमाचा है ये मोदी सरकार पर, जो अपने जो राष्ट्रीय एजेंसियां हैं जांच की, उनका दुरुपयोग एक फ्रंटल संगठन के तौर पर करके पूरी तरह इस देश में भय, आतंक का वातावरण कायम कर रही थी।
But BJP remains persistent in its demand that Kejriwal must resign from CM post and that a jailed chief minister has now become a bailed CM.
अरविंद केजरीवाल को जो जमानत मिली है, तो मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि आम आदमी पार्टी जो एक जमानती क्लब बन चुका है, उसमें अरविंद केजरीवाल का भी स्वागत है। माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज बहुत गंभीर टिप्पणी की है। उन्होंने कहा है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल की गिरफ्तारी लीगल थी, और अगर गिरफ्तारी लीगल थी तो इसका मतलब जांच एजेंसी ने जो तथ्य और जो सबूत शराब घोटाले में माननीय कोर्ट के सामने रखे, कोर्ट उससे संतुष्ट है। और जमानत मिलना कोई अपवाद नहीं है, अपराध मुक्त होना नहीं है, एक कोर्ट का प्रोसीजर है और हर व्यक्ति को जमानत मिलती है।
From the Goa election campaign funding angle to the South lobby link to the Excise scam, while ED and CBI are carrying out multi-pronged probe in the scam, it's a bail with conditions attached that the Aam Aadmi Party has been gloating over.
Alright, so we've cut back to these live pictures from outside the Tihar jail, where Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, is expected to walk out any time now. For 6 months, he has been in jail, and there you see celebrations on in full swing as all the top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party and workers who've gathered in huge numbers outside the Tihar jail to welcome Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal. This even as we played out all the political reactions, where at one end the Aam Aadmi Party has called it vindication, Indie leaders have hailed the Supreme Court's decision, but the BJP that is demanding Arvind Kejriwal's resignation and said that just because he's granted bail does not mean that he is innocent. This even as we understand that bail does not mean that Arvind Kejriwal will be able to resume his duties as Chief Minister. As a part of this conditional bail, Arvind Kejriwal will not be allowed to go to the CM office or sign any files or resume his work. What exactly will be the next step of the Aam Aadmi Party as far as Arvind Kejriwal is concerned is a question that remains. As I'd also like to cut across my colleagues Riyanka and Soumya, who are on the ground on a rainy day in the national capital, where the weather clearly is not a deterrent for all of the Aam Aadmi Party that hails the Supreme Court's decision of granting Arvind Kejriwal bail. This even as we understand that the top court wrapped the CBI, but the very fact that conditional bail has been granted, what exactly will be Kejriwal's next move? Arvind Kejriwal, who was arrested by the ED on the 21st of March, and then of course he later received bail, interim bail that he was out on, and soon after that he came back to prison. Now remember, he was released only for campaigning during the Lok Sabha elections, and he returned to prison on the 2nd of June 2024. It was on the 26th of June 2024 when CBI arrested him, and today the top court has granted him conditional bail. Let's put out the entire timeline through this next explainer. Take a look. The Supreme Court granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal today in the Delhi Excise policy case. Arvind Kejriwal is the fourth AAP leader to get bail after former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, MP Sanjay Singh and AAP's former communications in charge Vijay Nair. To briefly tell you about the case, the Delhi Excise policy case involves allegations that political leaders conspire to intentionally leave behind loopholes in the now scrapped Delhi liquor policy of 2021-22. The case was registered following a complaint by Delhi LG VK Saxena and is being probed by both the CBI and the ED. Talking about Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who was finally granted bail today by the top court, the CBI alleged that Arvind Kejriwal already had a preconceived idea of privatizing the excise policy, which was scrapped after allegations of corruption surfaced. He was arrested by the ED in this case on the 21st of March this year. He was briefly allowed release on interim bail by the Supreme Court to campaign for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls before returning to prison on the 2nd of June 2024. While he remained in custody in the ED case, the CBI also formally arrested him on the 26th of June in a move that Kejriwal's lawyers termed an insurance arrest, quote-unquote, to make sure he stays in jail if he is granted bail in the ED case. The Supreme Court, meanwhile, granted him interim bail on the 12th of July in the ED case while referring larger questions of law on the Prevention of Money Laundering Act to a larger bench. However, he continued to remain in prison since the CBI had already arrested him. Kejriwal then approached the Delhi High Court directly for bail, but the High Court asked the CM to move the trial court first. He then filed the present appeal before the Apex Court, in which the court's verdict was pronounced today. In today's verdict, a division bench of Justices Surya, Kant and Ujjal Bhuyan held that Kejriwal is entitled to bail in the CBI case. Justice Bhuyan went one step further and also so we'll continue to get you all the details, but for the moment we stay with these live pictures coming in from outside the Tihar jail, where celebration on in full swing by the Aam Aadmi Party as Arvind Kejriwal is set to walk out any minute now. The Aam Aadmi Party Supremo, who will be out of jail after 6 months, as I also cut across to Riyanka.
देखिए, जब से खबर फैली है दिल्ली के अंदर कि दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी बाहर आ रहे हैं, पूरे दिल्ली के लोगों में उत्साह है। पूरे दिल्ली से कार्यकर्ता यहां पर पहुंच रहे हैं अरविंद केजरीवाल जी के स्वागत के लिए। चंदीराम अखाड़े पे आप देख रहे हैं, यहां पर हज़ारों की तादाद में लोग पहुंच चुके हैं और अभी चारों तरफ से लोग यहां आ रहे हैं। और तिहाड़ जेल से अरविंद जी के आने के बाद यहां चंदीराम अखाड़े में सभी कार्यकर्ता उनका स्वागत करेंगे और यहां से रोड शो के माध्यम से अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को लेकर के उनके सीएम हाउस पहुंचेंगे।
कल का क्या कार्यक्रम होगा? कल क्या कुछ होगा कार्यक्रम? क्या सीएम हाउस, सीएम पार्टी कार्यालय जाएंगे, वहां संबोधित करेंगे, ऐसा कोई कार्यक्रम?
अभी मुख्यमंत्री जी के आने के बाद उनके साथ बैठ करके कल का कार्यक्रम हम लोग
केजरीवाल एक बार फिर से यहाँ पर जेल से बाहर, लेकिन इस बार राहत बड़ी है क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट से राहत मिली है। हालांकि शर्तें बहुत सारी लगाई गई हैं, लेकिन राहत है, लिहाजा आम आदमी पार्टी के लिए आज का दिन बेहद बड़ा और महत्वपूर्ण, क्योंकि आम आदमी पार्टी के अस्तित्व को लेकर भी
right, and first on Republic, Arvind Kejriwal is out of jail. He is waving out to the crowds. And Aam Aadmi Party workers and of course all the senior leaders who gathered in huge numbers to welcome the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo, who is out of jail after 6 months. This even as the investigation continues. It is the Delhi Liquorgate case that is being investigated by both the CBI and the ED. But Arvind Kejriwal, who happens to be the 4th Aam Aadmi Party leader who has been granted bail. After Manish Sisodia, Sanjay Singh, Vijay Nair, Arvind Kejriwal now walks out of jail on conditional bail.
अरे यहीं आएंगे भाई, यहीं आएंगे। स्पीच चल रही है, स्पीच भाई साहब, मैं आप लोगों के बीच में लाखों करोड़ों लोगों का शुक्रिया करना चाहता हूँ। लाखों लोगों ने मन्नत मांगी, लाखों लोगों ने दुआएं की, आशीर्वाद भेजे, प्रार्थना की, मंदिर गए, मस्जिद गए, गुरुद्वारे गए, उन सब लोगों का मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ। मेरे जिंदगी का एक एक पल, मेरे शरीर का एक एक कतरा, मेरे खून का एक एक कतरा देश के लिए समर्पित है। मैंने जिंदगी में बहुत संघर्ष किया है, बहुत बड़े संघर्ष किए, जिंदगी में बहुत मुसीबतें झेली है, लेकिन हर कदम पे भगवान ने मेरा साथ दिया। ऊपर वाले ने मेरा साथ दिया। क्यों? क्योंकि मैं सच्चा था, मैं सही था, इसलिए भगवान ने मेरा साथ दिया। इन लोगों ने मुझे जेल में डाल दिया। इन लोगों को लगा
उनको क्या शर्तों के साथ जमानत दी गई है। उन्हें कहा गया है कि वो
तो केजरीवाल के हौसले टूट जाएंगे। आज मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, मैं जेल से बाहर आया हूं, मेरे हौसले 100 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं। मेरी ताकत 100 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ गई है। इनकी जेल की मोटी मोटी दीवारें, इनकी जेल की सलाखें केजरीवाल के हौसले को कमजोर नहीं कर सकती। मैं भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूं, जैसे आज तक ऊपर वाले ने मेरे को रास्ता दिखाया, ऊपर वाले ने मेरे को ताकत दी, ऐसे ही भगवान मुझे रास्ता दिखाता रहे, मैं देश की सेवा करता रहूं। और ये जितनी राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतें हैं जो देश के विकास को रोक रही हैं, जो देश को बांटने का काम कर रही हैं, जो देश को अंदर से कमजोर करने का काम कर रही हैं, जिंदगी भर में इनके खिलाफ लड़ा हूं, आगे भी ऐसे ही लड़ता रहूंगा। भारत माता की, भारत माता की। कि मेरा रंग दे बसंत
हालत खिसियानी दिल्ली खंबा नोचे वाली हो गई है। उन्हें हर चीज में कोई ना कोई राजनीतिक उल्सट ढूंढ के बयानबाजी करनी है। बीजेपी को ध्यान देना चाहिए आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जो निर्णय आया है और जांच एजेंसियों की निष्पक्षता को लेकर जो सवाल खड़ा किया गया उस विषय पे भाजपा को ध्यान देना चाहिए, ना कि उनके राजनीतिक बयान देना चाहिए।
And those are the key statements coming in from Arvind Kejriwal, who is out of jail after 6 months, where he's thanking people for this victory, as the Aam Aadmi Party terms it. And the other big statement where he says that he's dedicated his life to the country. Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party Supremo and Delhi Chief Minister, who is out on conditional bail as has been granted by the top court in that crucial hearing this morning. Remember, this is a conditional bail where Arvind Kejriwal will not be able to go to the CM office or sign any files. However, the Aam Aadmi Party terms it a big victory, vindication for Arvind Kejriwal and the entire party as he walks out of jail. I want to cut back to Riyanka, who's been on the ground tracking every single moment. Over to you, Riyanka.
That's right, Suresh. Arvind Kejriwal has in fact walked out of the jail, as we rightly mentioned earlier, that he was walking out of gate number 3, where all the Karyakartas and all the leaders were present, and Kejriwal has of course addressed the people who have been present there to welcome him despite this massive rainfall that is happening in the national capital. The Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas were all present there outside Tihar jail, gate number 3, to welcome Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal. Remember, he is walking out of the jail after 6 months, and this was in terms of the CBI case in the angle for the excise policy. Remember, earlier he was granted bail by in the ED case as well, but today in the CBI case he has also gotten released, although it is a conditional.
Right. Riyanka, do stay on with us. Soumya also joins us live. Let's quickly also bring her in to get a sense of what's transpiring on the ground. Over to you, Soumya.
Yes, Suesha, right now I'm standing outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. As you can see the visuals behind me, people have started gathering outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence as he just walks out of Tihar jail. So it is going to take some time for him to reach his residence. However, people, local people and AAP party workers have already gathered outside his residence. They are in full celebration mode. Preparations are in full swing to welcome Arvind Kejriwal as he walks out of jail after 6 months. You can see there are dolls playing out there. People have also burst crackers. They are still bursting crackers here. Remember, the Delhi government has banned firecrackers until January next year to avoid air pollution. However, they are still burning crackers. Now we talk about people who are in attendance here other than the local people and the AAP party workers. We just got the visuals of Raghav Chadda entering Arvind Kejriwal's residence. Other than that, Delhi MCD Mayor Shelly Oberoi has also arrived. She has also entered Arvind Kejriwal's residence, and AAP MLA Madan Lal is also here waiting to welcome Arvind Kejriwal. As for the itinerary that we got for Arvind Kejriwal, he'll be You can see people have gathered here. They are bursting crackers. They are still bursting crackers. I will request my VJ to show you around. It's raining heavily out here. Still people are dancing and bursting crackers on the dole tunes. They are still dancing. So it's raining heavily, yet people have gathered here to welcome Arvind Kejriwal. Back to you.
All right, Riyanka also, who's with us on the broadcast, as both Soumya and Riyanka show us the pictures and the celebration that is on. Arvind Kejriwal walking out of jail. Riyanka.
That's right, Suesha. You know, as the earlier information we had gotten that Kejriwal would walk out of gate number 4, which is why I was standing at gate number 4. But Kejriwal walked out of gate number 3, where all the Karyakartas are present, where he in fact met with all his colleagues as well as his family members. He also spoke to the people who had come in to welcome him. Despite this heavy rain, there are indeed celebrations that are taking place right outside gate number 3 of the Tihar, and as well outside his residence. People, the Aam Aadmi Party Karyakartas as well as the leaders such like Bhagwant Mann also were present. Sanjay Singh also present outside the Tihar premise, and there was a wait for a very, very long time for Kejriwal to walk out. Remember, it is indeed a moment of joy because after 6 months Kejriwal is walking out of the Tihar, and of course he's gotten this conditional bail where it seems that although it is a victory for the Aam Aadmi Party, but his challenges does not end, given that he will not be able to function or do much about the chief ministerial post that he holds, as he cannot sign several official papers. He cannot visit his office and the Delhi Secretariat. So quite a challenge for Kejriwal at that front, given these conditions that have been laid by the Supreme Court granting him bail. He can also not make any statements in terms of the merit of this very case, the excise policy case, and he has to cooperate with the trial court. And also his passport remains to be with the court, and he cannot go overseas. So several conditions that continue to be applicable for Kejriwal. But yes, there is a moment of joy, moment of celebration for Kejriwal, be it outside the outside the Tihar jail or outside his residence.
Absolutely, Riyanka. The Aam Aadmi Party leaving no stone unturned to make this an unforgettable moment. And fact is that they have been fighting all this while for the Aam Aadmi Party Supremo to be freed from jail. But of course, 6 months that Arvind Kejriwal was lodged, and he's finally out on bail. As much as the BJP continues to reiterate that this in no way means that he is innocent, and the fact that he must resign as the Chief Minister of Delhi. We also understand that this is a conditional bail that has been granted to the Delhi Chief Minister, wherein he will not be able to go to the CM office or sign any files. What exactly will be the next step of the party of Arvind Kejriwal? How are they possibly going to get things back on track is now the big question, Riyanka.
Right, Suesha, given, as I said, that it is a challenge for the Aam Aadmi Party as well as Arvind Kejriwal, that there are conditions regarding his role as the Chief Minister of the National Capital, which has been also being targeted by the BJP. There were, of course, war of words that continued with the BJP constantly asking for a resignation of Arvind Kejriwal as the Chief Minister of Delhi. Although in his conditions, he cannot perform much for his position as the Chief Minister, given that he will not be able to go to his office in the Delhi Secretariat. Rather, he will not be also be permitted to sign official files. On that note, it is quite a challenge for Arvind Kejriwal, but given the fact that the elections in Haryana are around the corner, it is indeed a boost for morale of the party workers, who will now be moving on with much more strength given their party top leader out on conditional bail. Also, viewers, stay tuned with us as we will come right back after this short break. Arvind Kejriwal walks out of Tihar after 6 months. Stay tuned. We come right back after this short break.
단거리 탄도미사일 도발은 최근에 우리 연합연습이나 쌍용 훈련에 대한 반발, 또 러시아 수출을 위한 또 그런 테스트 목적으로 했을 수 있고, 단거리 탄도미사일 도발은 최근에 우리 연합연습이나 쌍용 훈련에 대한 반발, 또 러시아 수출을 위한 또 그런 테스트 목적으로 했을 수 있고,
Omar Abdullah recently made a statement in Kashmiri making a fervent appeal to the people to protect his honor.
I don't know why should I comment on something, but his assault on Kashmiri language was a bit deplorable.
You have called him tourist as well.
He is touristy and he is very unlike a Kashmiri. He doesn't look like any of these people. See, I can sit with them, talk to them in Kashmiri. He can't do that. He's not a part of this landscape.
तो आपके घर वाले अभी कैसे रिएक्ट करें, जो कि उन्होंने भी शुरुआत में से आप कह रहे हैं टॉन्ट्स वगैरह, उनको भी हर्ट तो करता ही होगा, उनको भी लगता होगा मेरे बेटे को लेकर कहीं ना कहीं आगे फ्यूचर को लेकर भी काफ़ी दिमाग में बातें आती होंगी।
पर मेरा परिवार ही मेरी ताकत रहा है, क्योंकि उन्होंने ही मेरे को सपोर्ट किया है। मेरे को मेरी रीढ़ की हड्डी ही मेरा परिवार रहा है। उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया है, खड़ा किया है, मेरे को मजबूत किया है। कोई बात नहीं, तू तगड़ा है, तू करके कर देगा, मेरे को भरोसा है। ऐसे मतलब जब मिलता है कि हाँ ठीक है, अगर ये ऐसा बोल रहे हैं मतलब इन्होंने मेरे को पता, इनको मेरा पता है, तो इतना सा सपोर्ट काफ़ी है। फिर अंदर से ही अपने आप हौसला आ जाता है। तो फिर परिवार से ज़्यादा सपोर्ट मिला तो वो खुश हैं। काफ़ी खुश हैं कि गांव का नाम रोशन हुआ। आज पूरा गांव मुझे पिक करने आया था एयरपोर्ट पे, तो काफ़ी भीड़ थी, मैं बात भी नहीं कर पाया। काफ़ी मतलब पूरा परिवार, पूरा गांव, बहुत खुशी का माहौल है। सभी मिलना चाहते थे, सभी बात करना चाहते थे, और उन्होंने भी वायरल वीडियो देखा, वो भी बहुत खुश थे कि हाँ ठीक है, तूने गांव का नाम रोशन किया है। और काफ़ी मतलब सब सही है। अभी गांव प्राउड कर रहा है, पूरा पानीपत प्राउड कर रहा है, पूरा हरियाणा, पूरा देश प्राउड कर रहा है।
जी, आप ना शुरू से ही क्या स्कूल टाइम से ही आप करते थे, स्पोर्ट्स में पार्टिसिपेट करते थे?
बचपन से ही इंटरेस्ट स्पोर्ट्स में रहा है। पढ़ाई के लिए तो मतलब यही था, टीचर मारते थे, पढ़ता नहीं है, क्योंकि वही था कि पढ़ाई बहुत आसान है एज कंपेरिजन टू स्पोर्ट्स। अगर मैं आपको कंपेयर करके दिखाऊं तो पढ़ाई करने वाला बंदा दिन में 5 घंटे पढ़ लेगा, 6 घंटे पढ़ लेगा। हमारी सुबह भी ट्रेनिंग होती है, शाम को भी ट्रेनिंग होती है। हम शाम को जल्दी सोते हैं क्योंकि कल ट्रेनिंग होगी, हम दिन में जल्दी सोते हैं क्योंकि शाम को ट्रेनिंग होगी। वैसा खाना, वैसी डाइट, ऐसा रूटीन हमारा सालों साल चलता रहता है। तो हमें बहुत सारी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस होती हैं। पढ़ाई वाले को किताब खोलनी है, पढ़ना बंद करनी है और फिर अपना मजे करो। तो
मजे लगे।
तो काफी मतलब मुश्किल होता है स्पोर्ट्स, इतना आसान नहीं है।
डिसिप्लिन भी बहुत
ज्यादा डिसिप्लिन हमें। मैंने पिछले 5-7 महीने से मीठा छोड़ रखा है क्योंकि मीठा नहीं खा रहा। मेरा पसंदीदा मिठाई हमारी सीजनल स्वीट घेवर है। जो सावन में मिलती है ना। ये वाला सावन ऐसा था जिसमें मैंने घेवर चखा भी नहीं।
अच्छा, अब तो जाके अब तो खैर मिलेगा कि नहीं पता नहीं, क्योंकि मौसम चला गया है
अभी। फिर वो है ना कि जब हम अगर किसी चीज की
लत तो खाते हो कि आप? जैसे
बिल्कुल क्यों नहीं खाते,
सब हरियाणा वाले यही बात करते हैं।
मिठाई हमेशा फेवरेट रही है। तो क्या है कि किसी भी चीज की है ना, स्पोर्ट्स का मतलब डिसिप्लिन है, और डिसिप्लिन का मतलब ये है कि आप वो आपके ऊपर किसी भी चीज को हावी नहीं होने देता, किसी भी चीज की लत नहीं लगने देता, ना मीठा ज्यादा खाने देता, ना पानी कम पीने देता, ना खाना कम खाने देता, ऐसा नहीं होने देता। वो डिसिप्लिन और रूटीन
अति नहीं किस चीज कर सकते आप।
बिल्कुल। तो
और मौज मस्ती, वैसे आप लगते हो मौज मस्ती वाले, लेकिन मस्ती की भी अति नहीं हो पाती है।
नहीं हो पाती क्योंकि वो शरीर थक जाता है, एनर्जी बचती नहीं है, तो फिर क्या करें, सो जाते हैं। तो
Back to these live pictures. Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal is out of jail after 6 months that he's walking out of Tihar jail, where this morning he was granted conditional bail by the top court. This even as we understand how the Supreme Court had delivered 2 separate judgments by a two-judge bench. However, both concurred that Arvind Kejriwal must be granted bail. But it is a conditional bail where Arvind Kejriwal will not be allowed to go to the CM office or sign any files. This as the top court had also wrapped the CBI, making the caged parrot reference, also questioning the manner and timing in which Arvind Kejriwal was arrested by the CBI. The CBI that alleges that Arvind Kejriwal had already had a preconceived idea of privatizing the excise policy, which was scrapped after allegations of corruption surfaced. Let me go back to Soumya. She's on the ground getting us all these latest pictures. Aam Aadmi Party celebrating in full force after their leader is out of jail. Soumya.
Party workers, supporters have gathered here.
right, we step into a short commercial break right now, but we'll be back with these latest images from outside the Tihar jail, where Arvind Kejriwal thanks people after he steps out.
Amity University is organizing an international conference on semiconductor technologies, materials to chips, with over 200 speakers and delegates from top organizations and global academic institutions from 11 countries. This is another initiative by Amity, aligned with the Government of India's semiconductor mission.
This is Republic Kitply Biobond Studio. Stay tuned for all the breaking news and updates. I am Rakshita Mishra. Let's get started.
Director, the taste of success.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Welcome friends to Friday edition of This is Exclusive, in which we are going to bring to you some very exclusive elements of the story of the hand grenade blast in Chandigarh, in which a clear role of Pakistan's ISI and an American or Indian living in America has emerged. But before that, the release of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who has in fact already come out of Tihar prison and is in a roadshow on way to his residence. All that and more. Let me get you the headlines first.
Presented by Royal Global University, Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
Big revelation by Punjab police in the Chandigarh grenade blast investigation. Preliminary probe reveals role of Pak ISI. Big revelation by Punjab police in the Chandigarh grenade blast investigation. Preliminary probe reveals role of Pak ISI. By Tihar jail hits out at its entrance. After offering to quit, Mamata starts pulling back, but protests escalate as anti-Mamata public movement intensifies. Centre renames Port Blair to Sri Vijayapuram. Home Minister says move will free the nation from colonial imprints.
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano.
All right, welcome back. Delhi Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party Supremo Arvind Kejriwal has been released from Tihar jail following an order from the Supreme Court in which he was granted bail on some conditions, including not to visit the Delhi Secretariat and not to look at the files that typically come to a Chief Minister. But ultimately, Arvind Kejriwal is a free man. These are pictures coming in from outside Tihar prison. In fact, these are from earlier. And let's go to Soumya. She's reporting live from where this procession is passing by. And let's cut straight to our reporters first to get a feel of the excitement and the jubilation that we are seeing in the Aam Aadmi Party cadres across Delhi, and more so at this place from where the Delhi Chief Minister's roadshow is passing, or carcade is passing, effectively turning into a roadshow. Soumya, from where you are you getting a sense that the release of Delhi Chief Minister has energized the Aam Aadmi Party cadre across Delhi?
Yes, well, that's correct. As right now I'm standing outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence, and it has definitely, the court's order has definitely energized the people across Delhi, because as you can see the visuals behind me, people are moving towards the Akhara where Arvind Kejriwal is supposed to reach as he moves out of Tihar jail after 6 months. People, Aam Aadmi Party workers and Aam Aadmi Party supporters have gathered here in large numbers despite heavy rainfall. They were here dancing in the open, without umbrellas, in the open. And they were dancing, bursting crackers and whatnot. So yes, the energy has been spread across Delhi, and people are eagerly waiting for Arvind Kejriwal to welcome him as he will come there at the Akhara. People are going to gather there, and from there they will take a road show until the CM's residence here, where Raghav Chadha, Shelly Oberoi and AAP MLA Madan Lal are waiting to welcome him. Back to you.
All right, Soumya, stay with us. You are at the Chief Minister's residence, and I believe he would be reaching there in some time, because he's taking a detour, visiting a temple, and then coming to the residence. Hopefully, it seems to a grand welcome going by the pictures. But I also go to Riyanka. She's joining us from Tihar. And Riyanka, has the Chief Minister's carcade already left Tihar? And how long before the Chief Minister reaches that temple where he's going to pray, and then onwards to his residence? Riyanka.
Right, the Chief Minister's entire rally has moved out from Tihar. You know, it was a while ago that this very area, the gate number 3 of Tihar jail, was full of energy, with a massive crowd joining in terms of the Aam Aadmi Party karyakartas, who had in fact raised several posters here welcoming back their top leader Arvind Kejriwal, who walked out of Tihar after 6 long months being lodged due to the proceedings that were underway in the excise policy case. And it was a big win for Aam Aadmi Party, giving them a massive strength and the boost right ahead of the Haryana Assembly elections, given that Aam Aadmi Party is going to be contesting their solo, and also given to understand that Kejriwal's cavalcade is moving towards the Changiram Akhada, from where an entire rally, a procession, will be moving towards his residence. Because of the rain that has in fact now deterred the national capital today, there is a lot of traffic jam that is being seen, which is why it seems like in another 45 minutes, Kejriwal will be reaching Changiram Akhada. From there, his procession will be starting towards its residence, and then there is going to be a meeting that he has called of all the senior leaders at around 8 p.m. So several such developments are now awaited, and all the visuals that are coming in of the crackers being burst and the people all celebrating and dancing. The dolls are being played. There are sweets that are being, in fact, given to all, given the fact that Kejriwal's release was what was awaited by all the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party.
All right, thank you so much, Riyanka and Soumya, for bringing us those updates on the release of Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. Remember, he was granted bail by the Supreme Court early in the morning, and he was released from Tihar prison just a while back. After coming out, he made a statement saying that God gave him power to survive the ordeal. And of course, one is expecting that he's expected to make a longer statement, possibly address his supporters tomorrow. But as of now, the Delhi Chief Minister, out from Tihar prison, is on way to his residence via a temple, where he's expected to reach in some time. We'll keep bringing to you updates on that veritable roadshow that's panning out, with the Aam Aadmi Party supporters welcoming their leader along the route. But moving on, a very important development that took place early in the day, with the Punjab Police DGP coming out with claims that they have cracked the case of throwing off a hand grenade at the residence of a former Punjab Police officer, which happened a couple of days back. Now it seems that along with the National Investigation Agency, the Punjab Police has come to the conclusion that that hand grenade blast was orchestrated by Pak ISI, and there was one Indian origin, America-based citizen who was also involved in conspiracy and planning. Now, these handlers essentially hired those assassins or would-be assassins who targeted the residence of the former Punjab police officer, and then, of course, fled from this spot. They have been arrested. The role of Pak-based and US-based Khalistani terrorists has come to the fore, is what the Punjab DGP informed. Significantly, the Punjab police has also confirmed that the attack was carried out at the behest of Pakistan's external spy agency, the ISI. The investigation continues, but these are damning developments. We will discuss why, but let's look at what the Punjab police has said.
A strong Khalistani link to Chandigarh grenade attack has emerged. The grenade blast is believed to be linked to the 1986 killings during the Nakodar sacrilege protests. Probe details accessed by Republic TV indicate that the grenade attack may have been an act of revenge on former Punjab police officer Jaskirat Singh Chahal. 4 were killed in alleged police firing in February 1986, and it is believed that the attack was an attempt to gain legitimacy among radical groups.
They claim that this attack was carried out because they wanted to take revenge of the killing of 4 dissenters who were shot dead reportedly by Jaskirat Singh Chahal after they were raising their dissent against the sacrilege of Guru Granth Sahib way back in 1986. How true are these claims? This can only be said by the investigators then. The law enforcement agencies also understand the seriousness of the matter. The hunt for the 2 unidentified assailants is being carried out, but more importantly, it is important to now probe of why was this attack carried out by the Sikh radical groups, especially the Babbar Khalsa International, and what was their real motive.
Role of Pakistan-based Khalistani terrorist Rinda Sandhu and US-based Khalistani terrorist Harpreet Singh is also suspected. Meanwhile, in a big breakthrough, the Punjab police claim to have arrested the main perpetrator of the grenade blast in a joint operation with Central Agency. While further probe is underway to unravel the larger plot, the Punjab police has confirmed that the blast was carried out on the instructions of Pakistan's external spy agency ISI. The investigators believe that Harvinder Singh alias Rinda, a Pakistan-based terrorist, with the Babbar Khalsa international mastermind Happy Pasia, are working together. It was on Wednesday when a grenade was lobbed at a house in Chandigarh Sector 10 area. Clincher CCTV clips show two men lurking near the house in Sector 10. Explosion took place moments after the duo was first spotted. Second CCTV shows the two suspects hurriedly rushing from the spot. The auto driver who ferried these two suspects has been arrested. Republic spoke to the landlord of the residence where the retired Punjab cop had been staying.
6 p.m. We were sitting here, father and me, and
outside?
Yes, in the veranda here. And suddenly a guy rocks up in an auto and walks towards the gate, and he has something in his hand. I presumed it was a courier, but then it wasn't to be, and he hurled it at us. So that's where I got alert.
And where did he throw the thing? It landed over here?
No, right at the veranda.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it bounced back into the lawn.
Did he say anything to you before hurling anything?
No, nothing.
He just ultimately threw it.
I was expecting him to say something because I thought he was a courier guy.
Did he cover his face when he threw something?
No, he wasn't covered.
With terror angle being looked into, the chase is on to nab these two suspects who were suspected to be working on the directions of Khalistani terrorists operating in Pakistan and the United States.
All right, Piyush, in fact, who has reported from the ground, is joining us live. Piyush, it is clear now from what you reported that the role of Pak ISI has emerged, as also Happy Pasia. Now, please tell us, is he an American citizen, a naturalized American citizen, and pulling his strings from the United States and carrying out these kind of terror acts?
So, first of all, good evening to you, Abhishek, and good evening to all our viewers who are viewing us at the moment. And there is a very complicated network of how exactly these Sikh radical groups are functioning in North American countries of USA and Canada, and how Happy Pasia, and not only Happy Pasia, but prior to him, Harjit Singh Nijjar, Goldie Barar, and all these other people are right now working in countries of USA and Canada, where they not only are undertaking anti-national activities, but in turn are also operating with narco-terror nexus, which are being helped by inter-services intelligence. Now, let me first just tell you about this incident in which the name of Happy Pasia, who is an associate of Harvinder Singh Rinda, who is right now based in Pakistan and is duly being helped by the inter-services intelligence of carrying out narco-terror activities over here, not only in Punjab but areas beyond. In fact, it is Harvinder Singh Rinda who in the past has also been accused of dropping deadly weapons that are being shipped from China. He's also being accused of transporting drugs. Now, as far as this incident is concerned, the terrorists over here wanted to target Jaskirat Singh Chahal, and they wanted to gain legitimacy by killing Jaskirat Singh Chahal. Now, Jaskirat Singh Chahal has been a person who has got a very appreciable record as far as rooting out terrorism is concerned. However, it has also been alleged by several Sikh groups that how this person was involved in shooting dead 4 people who were raising then the protest over sacrilege of Guru Granth Sahib in Nakodar district in 1986. And it was alleged that despite a judicial commission that was set up as far as the investigation of this incident of shooting was concerned, there was actually no action that was taken, and this had resulted in a lot of people being disappointed over the outcome. Now, the Sikh radical groups, in order to gain legitimacy among the Sikhs in North America, especially USA and Canada, because it is important to note that they get a large number of donations from these Sikhs, especially through private gurdwaras, by which they are able to carry out their terrorist activities. They wanted to gain legitimacy, and in this regard, they wanted to physically harm Jaskirat Singh Chahal. And on this, they had got in touch with a person known as Rohit Masi, who in turn, through his proxies, lobbed a hand grenade in a posh house. Now, the mastermind in this attack, especially the Rohan Masi, has been arrested. But yes, further investigation is underway. And lastly, I would like to say that this definitely has ramifications over the national security. Back to the studio.
Obviously, Piyush, but in fact, it seems that Jaskirat Chahal, the target of these Khalistanis and the terrorists, had an apprehension as far back as 2017 that he could be a target of these extremist elements. What is the Punjab police telling you about the kind of security that has been provided? And do you think the Punjab police has evidence which can be put across to the US authorities about the manner in which someone based out of the United States is pulling strings and carrying out these kind of terrorist acts in India?
Two important questions. Yes, you rightly mentioned, Abhishek, that yes, Jaskirat Singh Chahal had an inkling, he had an inclination that his life was under danger, and for this he had put up a petition at Punjab Haryana court way back in 2017 of why it was important that his security cover should not have been removed. However, in 2022, this petition of him was rejected, and this resulted in Jaskirat Singh Chahal, who was a retired Punjab police official and also a key personnel who had played a very important role in rooting out terrorism in Punjab way back in 80s. Because he realized that he did not feel safe in India, he went abroad. Now, the second important question is that there are large number of radical Sikhs who are operating in USA, Canada and several other countries, and the intelligence agencies as well as the law enforcement agencies realize this, and thereby you are seeing that there is a lot of negotiation with the countries over extradition of these people. However, taking into account of what we have seen in Canada, of why there is a political kind of tussle between extraditing these people, you see that the negotiation takes time, and this results in a lot of these people trying to trying to operate their anti-national activities from countries in like of USA and Canada. Back to in the studio.
Right, Piyush. In fact, this becomes one more of the dozen odd cases that are there against Harvinder Singh Rinda, who is clearly a ISI asset. But just before I let you go, Piyush, quickly, Piyush, before I let you go, are there more arrests likely?
Well, you rightly mentioned that this is just a tip of an iceberg, Abhishek, and you can understand that Harvinder Singh Rinda, who in the past has been also involved in launching rocket launcher in a police station in Mohali. He has been involved in trying to ship weapons and drugs, weapons of Chinese-made origin, he's been accused of shipping that in India. So you can understand the well-oiled machinery he's being involved in, and thereby one can definitely expect a lot of arrests in the coming days. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Piyush. And as in Punjab, so in Jammu and Kashmir, it is Pakistan which is indulging in fomenting terror in the country. An encounter, in fact, broke out earlier in the day between security forces and terrorists at Pingnal Dugda forest area in Kishtwar of Jammu and Kashmir. The exchange of fire was reported in the upper reaches of Naidgam village and under the jurisdiction of police station Chhatru district Kishtwar. Republic, in fact, is there on the ground, and we also spoke to MOS in the Prime Minister's office, as also, of course, a member of Parliament from Udhampur, Dr. Jitendra Singh. Listen into what he told Gursimran.
यहाँ के लोगों ने 3 बार आप पर विश्वास जताया, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं पाकिस्तान की तरफ से कोशिश है कि यहाँ के लोगों को जो है डराया जाए आतंकवाद से। लगातार आतंकी हमले, अभी भी छात्रों में एनकाउंटर जारी है। किस तरह से देखते हैं जो रणनीति में बदलाव है?
निश्चय ही पाकिस्तान तो अपनी शरारत से कभी बाज नहीं आएगा। वो तो सन 1947 से इस बात से समझौता ही नहीं कर सका कि जम्मू कश्मीर हिंदुस्तान का हिस्सा है। कभी कन्वेंशनल वॉर, कभी प्रॉक्सी वॉर, कभी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन, कभी लो इंटेंसिटी वॉरफेयर इत्यादि इत्यादि उसी का ये हिस्सा है। लेकिन यहाँ के लोग इस प्रकार से प्रतिबद्ध है और निष्ठावान है कि वो कभी भी पाकिस्तान के मंसूबों को कामयाब नहीं होने देंगे। और आपने देखा यहाँ हिंदू और मुसलमान सभी एक साथ होकर के, एकजुट होकर के आतंक का भी सामना करते हैं, और साथ ही साथ यहाँ के लोगों में बहुत एस्पिरेशनल हैं, बड़े आकांक्षी हैं। यहीं से बड़े बड़े जज पैदा हुए, बड़े बड़े डॉक्टर पैदा हुए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट को मुख्य न्यायाधीश भी यहीं इसी क्षेत्र से मिले। तो कहने का तात्पर्य है कि ये क्षेत्र है जो समझता है कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जो विकास की यात्रा चल रही है हिंदुस्तान की, उसका कितना महत्व है, और वो नहीं चाहेंगे कि हम अपने आप को या इस क्षेत्र को उससे वंचित रखें।
सर, जम्मू कश्मीर पुलिस ने कहा कि पाकिस्तान आतंकियों को वो हथियार दे रहा है जो नाटो जो है इंटरनेशनल वॉर जोन्स पे इस्तेमाल करता है। किस तरह से देखते हैं एक बड़ा खतरा देश के?
मुझे लगता है कि हमारी सरकार, हमारा रक्षा मंत्रालय, हमारा गृह मंत्रालय सक्षम है, वो इन सभी बातों का संज्ञान लेकर के जो रणनीति अपनानी होती है अपनाते हैं। उसकी बहुत अधिक सार्वजनिक चर्चा करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है।
Well, this is all we had in this bulletin for you, friends. And after a short break, on the other side, updates on Arvind Kejriwal's journey back home from Tihar jail and more.
Anti-Mamata movement grows even stronger. Mamata goes cold turkey on resignation plan. Is Mamata pulling back from her offer? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಿಟ್ಗಳ ಇತಿಹಾಸದಲ್ಲೇ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಮೈಲುಗಲ್ಲು ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸೋಕೆ ವೇದಿಕೆ ಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗಿದೆ. ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಹಾಸಂಗಮ. ಇದು ಕನಸಿನ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ದಿಗ್ಗಜರ ಸಮಾಗಮ. ಅತಿ ಶೀಘ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ
तो आपके घर वाले अभी कैसे रिएक्ट करें, जो कि उन्होंने भी शुरुआत में से आप कह रहे हैं टॉन्ट्स वगैरह, उनको भी हर्ट तो करता ही होगा, उनको भी लगता होगा मेरे बेटे को लेकर कहीं ना कहीं आगे फ्यूचर को लेकर भी काफ़ी दिमाग में बातें आती होंगी।
पर मेरा परिवार ही मेरी ताकत रहा है, क्योंकि उन्होंने ही मेरे को सपोर्ट किया है। मेरे को मेरी रीढ़ की हड्डी ही मेरा परिवार रहा है। उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया है, खड़ा किया है, मेरे को मजबूत किया है। कोई बात नहीं, तू तगड़ा है, तू करके कर देगा, मेरे को भरोसा है। ऐसे मतलब जब मिलता है कि हाँ ठीक है, अगर ये ऐसा बोल रहे हैं मतलब इन्होंने मेरे को पता, इनको मेरा पता है, तो जब इतना सा सपोर्ट काफ़ी है, फिर अंदर से ही अपने आप हौसला आ जाता है। तो फिर परिवार से ज़्यादा सपोर्ट मिला तो वो खुश हैं, काफ़ी खुश हैं।
The challenges for retailers today, it is only going to get stronger in the times to come. How does everyone cope up?
With every calamity, there comes an opportunity. Almost 70-80% of Bangladesh's GDP is based on textile. So there's a huge opportunity for India to capture that market.
We have government who is coming out with amazing policies and infrastructure initiatives.
The next few years are very important, and with this union budget, I think if we can leverage nicely,
we are going to take India to that global scale.
Dragon Space X-Men complete. EV-1 return to seat.
And EV-1 copy.
Copy test matrix 3.
Stop of the mobility aid. And let's get a quick crew off check. EV-1.
Dragon Space X-Men complete. EV-1 return to seat.
And EV-1 copy. Transitioning back under the display.
So again, one of the reasons we had Jared do that was to...
Dragon SpaceX, we're actually copy test matrix 3.
Stop of the mobility aid. And let's get a quick crew off check. EV-1's good. EV-2's good. I'm good. Fucking good. Copy that. Okay, max reach, whether it's left or right hand, seems to be about the same. Top of the mobility aid, and then the mid-road.
Copy, we see it.
Checking up from the bottom.
Dragon Space X-Men complete. EV-1 return to seat.
And EV-1 copy. Transitioning back under the display.
So again, one of the reasons we had Jared do that was to...
Dragon SpaceX, we're actually copy test matrix 3.
Top of the mobility aid. And let's get a quick crew off check. EV-1's good. EV-2's good. I'm good. Fucking good. Copy that. Okay, max reach, whether it's left or right hand, seems to be...
Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano. After a 6-month, Kejriwal walks out of jail. Aam Aadmi Party claims vindication.
चौथी बार है जब इस देश की कचहरियों ने ये पाया है कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल की अरेस्ट लीगल है.
Meanwhile, BJP ups the ante against Aam Aadmi Party, says courts found that Kejriwal was guilty and that the arrest was legal. After offering to quit, Mamata starts pulling back, but protests escalate as anti-Mamata public movement intensifies.
मस्जिद का झगड़ा नहीं है, ये स्ट्रीट वेंडर्स का जो अनऑथराइज्ड लोग आते हैं, उसमें कुछ लोग ऐसे भी है जो अपनी दुकानों के आगे बैठा रहे हैं जिससे चलने में दिक्कत होती है. ये एक मेन मकसद है.
After Shimla, clashes between cops and locals in Mandi over illegal structure. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister says outsiders involved. Big revelation by Punjab police in the Chandigarh grenade blast investigation. Preliminary probe reveals role of Pakistan's ISI. Centre renames Port Blair to Sri Vijayapuram. Home Minister says move will free the nation from colonial imprints. Presented by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. Pado kuch bano. After 6 months being behind bars as the main accused in the liquor scam, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has now walked out of Tihar jail. Earlier in the day, two-judge bench granted bail to the Chief Minister. Remember, it's a conditional bail that has been granted to the Chief Minister. He will not be able to perform his duties as the Chief Minister, not be able to sign the files. BJP essentially has now called this as an attempt that has been made by the Aam Aadmi Party to whitewash the crime committed by the Chief Minister. In fact, this has led to a massive war of words, with the Aam Aadmi Party saying that their position has been completely vindicated, especially when concerns have been raised in the manner the Chief Minister was arrested by the Central Bureau of Investigation. Listen in to what the Chief Minister had to say moment after stepping out of Tihar jail.
मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ आप सब लोगों को इतनी बारिश में इतनी बड़ी संख्या में आए आप सबका तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ। दोस्तों, मेरा जीवन देश के लिए समर्पित है। मेरे जिंदगी का एक एक पल, मेरे शरीर का एक एक कतरा, मेरे खून का एक एक कतरा देश के लिए समर्पित है। मैंने जिंदगी में बहुत संघर्ष किया है, बहुत बड़े संघर्ष किए, जिंदगी में बहुत मुसीबतें झेली है, लेकिन हर कदम पे भगवान ने मेरे साथ दिया।
Well, the Aam Aadmi Party once again says that their position has been vindicated. The Chief Minister was arrested in a false case. Let me go across to my colleague Surya, who's joining us from outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence in the national capital. Surya, you've spoken to some of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Give us a sense of what's really happening on the ground.
Yes, well, I'm standing right outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. As per the sources on ground, Arvind Kejriwal is arriving at the Changi Ram Akhara anytime soon, from where he will take out a road show with all the Aam Aadmi Party leaders and supporters till his house here, outside his house. As you can see the visuals right now, people have gathered on both sides of his house, dancing and sloganeering, holding for postcards saying Satyameva Jayate. People are dancing on the tunes of doles and nagaras. Very clearly, the release of Arvind Kejriwal has energized the people of Delhi, as people have gathered outside his residence in large numbers. They're dancing out in the rain. So this is what is the situation outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence. We can expect that the road show will start any moment now, and it will come here and end here outside Arvind Kejriwal's residence with top leadership of Aam Aadmi Party in attendance. However, here we have Raghav Chadha, Shelly Oberoi and AAP MLA Madan Lal to welcome Arvind Kejriwal. Back to you.
Well, Surya, I'll just request you to also perhaps speak to some of the Aam Aadmi Party supporters who are gathered there. In fact, the position that many have now taken within the party, that this comes across as a big boost ahead of the Haryana elections. A short while back, you've had senior Aam Aadmi Party leader Raghav Chadha also saying that Arvind Kejriwal would immediately hit the roads as far as the campaigning is concerned.
Yes, well, we spoke to Aam Aadmi Party MLA Madan Lal, who said that Arvind Kejriwal's release from jail is a big victory in terms of Haryana polls, as well as it will have a great effect on the results, because he's expecting, he said that you can see the gathering here, so people are assured that he will not just deliver for Delhi, but he will deliver in Haryana polls as well, and the win in the Haryana is for Aam Aadmi and Aam Aadmi Party only. Back to you.
Well, let's just quickly take you through all that has happened through the day. In fact, Aam Aadmi Party leader Raghav Chadha spoke a short while back to Republic TV, saying that this undoubtedly comes across as a big boost for the party, and that he would be campaigning for in the upcoming elections in the state of Haryana. Let's also listen to Raghav Chadha, who spoke a short while back. And these are latest images that are coming in. In fact, visuals that came in a short while back from the mega roadshow that is underway as we speak right now. Immediately after stepping out from Tihar jail, you've had Arvind Kejriwal essentially saying that many attempts were made by the centre to keep him behind bars. But he says that his conviction has gone deeper today, and he thanks the people of Delhi for standing by him. That's the position that's been taken by the Chief Minister here. As far as the matter in the court is concerned, you've had the two-judge bench speaking about the arrest, holding the arrest that has been made by the Central Bureau of Investigation as legal. However, raising concerns about the manner in which this was done. This was after the Enforcement Directorate had arrested Arvind Kejriwal. These are the latest images now coming in. We'll try and see if we can also go across to my colleague Riyanka as well as Soumya. These are images now coming in from outside the Chief Minister's residence in the national capital. celebrations that are taking place of Aam Aadmi Party supporters who've all gathered there. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, happens to be the main accused in the Liquorgate scam, a case that has been investigated by the CBI as well as the Enforcement Directorate. We'll try and see if we can hear what Arvind Kejriwal has to say.
Sir, Supremo Arvind Kejriwal, after he walks out of the jail after 6 long months. The celebration is in full swing as they are bursting crackers, playing dolls and nagaras, and waving tricolor. Arvind Kejriwal is going to speak any moment soon. So this is what is happening right now. He's speaking right now and he's thanking to the people of country.
हेलो, आप सब लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। दिल्ली वालों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। हेलो, देश के लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जिन लोगों ने थोड़ा सा और पास ले आओ। जिन लोगों ने मेरी रिहाई के लिए नीचे रखो पीटीआई मेरे बाहर आने के लिए आशीर्वाद भेजा, प्रार्थना की, मंदिर गए, मस्जिद गए, आप सब लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। दोस्तों, आज देश एक बहुत नाजुक दौर से गुजर रहा है। केजरीवाल बहुत छोटी चीज है, केजरीवाल इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, देश इंपॉर्टेंट है। हेलो, देश के अंदर कुछ लोग, कुछ राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतें देश को अंदर से कमजोर करने की कोशिश कर रही हैं, देश को बांटने की कोशिश कर रही हैं, भाई को भाई से लड़ाने की कोशिश कर रही हैं, जुडिशरी को कमजोर करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, न्याय व्यवस्था को कमजोर करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, जजों को डराया धमकाया जा रहा है। आज देश के अंदर इलेक्शन कमीशन को कमजोर करने की कोशिश की जा रही है, ईडी पे कब्जा किया जा रहा है, सीबीआई पे कब्जा किया जा रहा है। देश को अंदर से कमजोर करने की कुछ राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतें कोशिश कर रही हैं, हमें इसका मुकाबला करना है दोस्तों। मेरा कसूर ये नहीं है कि मैंने कोई भ्रष्टाचार किया था, मेरा कसूर यह है कि मैंने उन राष्ट्र विरोधी ताकतों के खिलाफ आवाज बुलंद की थी, इसलिए मुझे जेल जाना। लेकिन मैं हमेशा इन ताकतों के खिलाफ लड़ा और आगे भी इन ताकतों के खिलाफ लड़ता रहूंगा। केजरीवाल को जेल में डाल दो, केजरीवाल डर जाएगा, केजरीवाल के हौसले टूट जाएंगे, केजरीवाल का साहस टूट जाएगा। दोस्तों, जेल की दीवारों ने मेरे साहस को 100 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया है। इनकी जेल की दीवारें, इनकी जेल की सलाखें केजरीवाल के हौसले को कम नहीं कर सकती, कमजोर नहीं कर सकती। मेरी बाकी की जिंदगी देश को समर्पित है। मेरी जिंदगी का एक एक पल, मेरे खून का एक एक कतरा और मेरे शरीर का एक एक कतरा मेरे देश के लिए समर्पित है। दोस्तों, मेरे को हमेशा ऊपर वाले ने मेरा साथ दिया। मैं बहुत छोटा आदमी हूँ, बहुत छोटा आदमी था, ऊपर वाले ने साथ दिया। जो मुझे इतना प्यार मिला लोगों का, इतना मान सम्मान मिला, क्यों साथ दिया ऊपर वाले ने? क्योंकि मैं सच्चा था, मैं सही था, मैं लोगों की सेवा करता था, मैं मुल्क के लिए लड़ता था, मैं राष्ट्र के लिए लड़ता था, इसीलिए ऊपर वाला मेरे साथ है। मैं ऊपर वाले से प्रार्थना करना चाहता हूं कि भविष्य में भी मुझे इसी तरह से रास्ता दिखाता रहे और मैं अपने देश के लिए, अपने लोगों के लिए आने वाले समय में भी शुक्रिया। मैं आज यहाँ पे आया।
Well, in fact, that was Arvind Kejriwal outside his residence once again taking on what he calls those within the country, weakening the institutions starting from the Enforcement Directorate to the Election Commission. And he says that the reason why he was arrested was only because he was speaking against those anti-national forces. That's the reason why it's not because of the corruption charges that have been leveled against him. Now, these are the statements that have been made by the Chief Minister, the second time that he has spoken after he stepped out of Tihar jail. In fact, in a short while from now, it is expected that senior leaders of Aam Aadmi Party would be meeting Delhi Chief Minister, starting with Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwat Mann, who has also reached at the Chief Minister's residence, along with Manish Sisodia, Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj and Raghav Chadda, who are expected to meet the Chief Minister in a short while from now. There's a scheduled meeting which is expected to begin around 8 o'clock in the evening. The BJP, on the other hand, has said that the court has upheld the arrest, saying that the arrest that has been made by the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation are essentially legal in nature. Let's just quickly take you through the entire timeline of what's really happened from the time he was named as an accused in this particular case, taken into custody. And remember, not just Arvind Kejriwal, there are several other leaders who were taken into custody by the Enforcement Directorate and the Central Bureau of Investigation. My colleague Surya breaks it down for you.
The Supreme Court granted bail to Arvind Kejriwal today in the Delhi Excise policy case. Arvind Kejriwal is the fourth AAP leader to get bail after former Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, MP Sanjay Singh and AAP's former communications in charge Vijay Nair. To briefly tell you about the case, the Delhi Excise policy case involves allegations that political leaders conspired to intentionally leave behind loopholes in the now scrapped Delhi liquor policy of 2021-22. The case was registered following a complaint by Delhi LG VK Saxena and is being probed by both the CBI and the ED. Talking about Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, who was finally granted bail today by the top court, the CBI alleged that Arvind Kejriwal already had a preconceived idea of privatizing the excise policy, which was scrapped after allegations of corruption surfaced. He was arrested by the ED in this case on the 21st of March this year. He was briefly allowed release on interim bail by the Supreme Court to campaign for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls before returning to prison on the 2nd of June 2024. While he remained in custody in the ED case, the CBI also formally arrested him on the 26th of June in a move that Kejriwal's lawyers termed an insurance arrest, quote-unquote, to make sure he stays in jail if he is granted bail in the ED case. The Supreme Court, meanwhile, granted him interim bail on the 12th of July in the ED case while referring larger questions of law on the Prevention of Money Laundering Act to a larger bench. However, he continued to remain in prison since the CBI had already arrested him. Kejriwal then approached the Delhi High Court directly for bail, but the High Court asked the CM to move the trial court first. He then filed the present appeal before the Apex Court, in which the court's verdict was pronounced today. In today's verdict, a division bench of Justices Surya, Kant and Ujjal Bhuyan held that Kejriwal is entitled to bail in the CBI case. Justice Bhuyan went one step further and also termed the CBI's June 26 arrest of Kejriwal unjustifiable and only meant to frustrate the grant of bail in the ED case against him. However, the top court has granted him conditional bail such that he can't enter CM office and he's barred from signing files, including bail bond of 10 lakh rupees and 2 sureties.
Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal walks out of Tihar jail, a veiled dig at the centre.
Amity University is organizing an international conference on semiconductor technologies, materials to chips, with over 200 speakers and delegates from top organizations and global academic institutions from 11 countries. This is another initiative by Amity, aligned with the Government of India's semiconductor mission.
Dragon SpaceX vent complete. EV1 return to seat.
And EV1 copy.
Copy test matrix 3.
Top of the mobility aid. And let's get a quick crew off check. EV1.
Dragon SpaceX vent complete. EV1 return to seat.
And EV1 copy. Transitioning back under the display.
So again, one of the reasons we had Jared do that was to...
Dragon SpaceX, we're actually copy test matrix 3.
Top of the mobility aid. And let's get a quick crew off check. EV1's good. EV2's good. I'm good. Fucking good. Copy that. Okay, max reach, whether it's left or right hand, seems to be about the same. Top of the mobility aid, and then the mid-row.
Copy, we see it.
Checking up from the bottom.
Anti-Mamata movement grows even stronger. Mamata goes cold turkey on resignation plan. Is Mamata pulling back from her offer? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Character, the taste of success.
Anti-Mamata movement grows even stronger. Mamata goes cold turkey on resignation plan. Is Mamata pulling back from her offer? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
Mamata Banerjee has offered to quit, and that is good. She should have offered to quit a long time back. I need to know when she's quitting. We just don't want to know whether she's quitting as Chief Minister from the Chief Minister's position. Because if a person called Mamata Banerjee continues to be Home Minister of Bengal, then that's very dangerous for the people of Bengal. And if she's offering to quit, it is no act of martyrdom, for she deserves no sympathy, not an ounce of sympathy. The end of your political journey will have one headline: a politician hated by the people. You expect the people to forgive you? Forgive you for what? Years and decades of deceit, lies, corruption and exploitation? For running a dictatorial tyranny? For being the worst Chief Minister in the history of the country? And for thinking you can manipulate people? You could manipulate some people, but that was some time back. Now there is Republic Mamata Banerjee, and the public is with Republic. And you are facing a kind of anger that you've not faced before.
Mandi flare up after tensions in Shimla. showdown between protesters and Himachal government. Vote bank politics behind Congress hesitation to act, debating tonight at 8:30 p.m.
There was an unprecedented public appearance of the world's two top spy masters this week in London. CIA Director William Burns and MI6 Chief Richard Moore shared their worldview at a conclave talk show. This happened as the United States arrested two high-profile Chinese spies in New York and Washington, D.C. Join me as I unspool the West's geostrategic thought process through these developments over the weekend on Get Me Right.
Chief Minister Kejriwal gets bail from top court. Aam takes victory lap. BJP says not an acquittal. Arnav with big political face-off, debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Mamata Banerjee has offered to quit, and that is good. She should have offered to quit a long time back. I need to know when she's quitting. We just don't want to know whether she's quitting as Chief Minister from the Chief Minister's position. Because if a person called Mamata Banerjee continues to be Home Minister of Bengal, then that's very dangerous for the people of Bengal. And if she's offering to quit, it is no act of martyrdom, for she deserves no sympathy, not an ounce of sympathy. The end of your political journey will have one headline: a politician hated by the people. You expect the people to forgive you? Forgive you for what? Years and decades of deceit, lies, corruption and exploitation? For running a dictatorial tyranny? For being the worst Chief Minister in the history of the country? And for thinking you can manipulate people? You could manipulate some people, but that was some time back. Now there is Republic Mamata Banerjee, and the public is with the public. And you are facing a kind of anger that you've not faced before.
Chief Minister Kejriwal gets bail from top court. Aam takes victory lap. BJP says not an acquittal. Arnav with big political face-off.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Mamata Banerjee has asked her police to increase the height of the barricades around all the police stations, her government offices, etc. So now the height of the barricades, which was first 4 feet, was raised to 6 feet. And then when there were more and more protesters, the height of the barricades was increased to about 8 feet. Then they were increased to 10 feet. And as you can see there, ladies and gentlemen, now Mamata Banerjee has asked the police to increase the height of the barricades to anywhere between 12 to 14 feet. There's a mass of people behind the barricades, and the police's only way to hold the protesters back is to increase the height of the barricades. I am told that the Bengal government is asking for a new set of contractors to come in who will increase the height of the barricades around Nabanna, which is where the state government operates from, around the Lal Bazar police station, the police commissioner's office. So essentially, ladies and gentlemen, in short, it would not be wrong to say that Mamata Banerjee and her government have barricaded themselves. Now, what does this mean? In every major change in the world,
whenever a tyrant, a dictator gets completely surrounded by the people, they increase the height of the barricades and they sort of pacify themselves into believing that these barricades will give them comfort, will give them security, will keep the people out. But think about it, viewers. What do you say about a political leader whose only job today is to keep the people out? Day in and day out, Mamata Banerjee spends her entire day deciding how to push back the people, how not to meet people, how not to interact with people, and how to fool herself by believing that where she sits along with all her chumchas in her office, that she has a control over the state. The fact is she's an object of hate and a person, a political leader who's despised across Bengal and across the country today. Ladies and gentlemen, we only need to read the letter of the protesting doctors written to the Honorable President of India, Draupadi Murmuji. And I truly believe that the President of India needs to intervene in this case, because Mamata Banerjee is only going to keep increasing the height of the barricades. And my appeal as well to the Honorable President of India, Draupadi Murmuji, would be that she should go by the letter and intervene. Only the President can now intervene. If the central government intervenes directly, it will be seen as political intervention. But the President of India, as the conscience keeper of the nation, should intervene in this case. And I would like to read out what was written in this letter by the doctors to the President of India, which tells you the situation in Bengal. Please listen to this, viewers. In between the two extremes lies an organized criminal culture, a criminal syndicate. They're referring to Mamata Banerjee's criminal syndicate, allegedly involved in financial scams, money laundering, bribery, and several rackets. Some of these powerhouses have been apprehended, but most roam free and continue to plague the system. There have been several instances of conflict and outright violence between the peaceful protesters and the members and/or supporters of such infamous lobbies. The fact that the evidence was altered in full view of the state police, as brought up in the judicial hearings of the Honorable Supreme Court, and unwarranted construction started in the premises of the murder scene, the crime scene, as per the approval of the highest authorities, meaning Mamata Banerjee, all serve as testimony to certain malicious agencies at work within the health department. In view of these circumstances, the sense of deep distrust and fear that we feel towards the authorities remains unallayed, and we desperately implore that these noxious elements within the system be weeded out to assure us of a truly safe workplace. Ladies and gentlemen, we must emphasize that today it is 35 days these protests have been on, and the only response from Mamata Banerjee is to increase the height of the barricades, to increase the brutality of the police, to send more notices to the media, to try and attack the doctors. And she started attacking the doctors. Now it's a battle between the doctors and her. What she needs to understand is that there is a lot of frustration in Bengal about her. The doctors are only the iceberg. The doctors are only the spearhead. This is a movement against Mamata Banerjee. Somebody needs to tell her the truth, that the people have started hating her corruption, hating the gang rapes, the corruption, the tyranny, all that has happened under her watch. Nobody trusts her. And so this is a mass movement against Mamata Banerjee. Ladies and gentlemen, India against corruption happened when people of India were fed up with the corruption of the Congress. In that case, Anna Hazare was only a spearhead, an icebreak. But the fact of the matter is the public was already very angry with the Congress, Surya Gandhi, Manmohan Singh. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, the people are very angry about Mamata Banerjee. Nobody is with her. And she needs to get the message. All she's doing is increasing the height of the barricades. That has its own symbolism. Think about it. I come to you with 3 debates tonight. Mamata's started pulling back after offering to quit. We need to keep up the pressure. Debate number 2 this evening, why the battle over a mosque has become the centerpiece of the fight in Himachal. And at 9 o'clock tonight, Arvind Kejriwal is out on bail after 6 months. What are the political and legal implications of today's verdict of the Supreme Court? Here are the headlines this Friday evening on the debate tonight. When are you resigning, Mamata Banerjee, or was it just theatrics? The crowds are swelling. from people to the BJP and even the CPM now. Everyone today is the opposition in Bengal. Bengal is your opposition, Mamata Banerjee. The nation is your opposition. Are you pulling back from your offer to resign in less than 24 hours? Follow through on something for once, Mamata, for it is your word against the supporters of Abhaya. After Shimla, now major protests erupt in Himachal Pradesh's Mandi as Hindu residents raise their voice against illegal structures in the state. The Chief Minister says that there is no religious angle to the tension in Shimla and Mandi, but can the charges levelled by the locals on the ground be overlooked?
माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी को भी एक बहुत बड़ा संदेश दिया है कि तुम्हें अपनी तानाशाही बंद करनी पड़ेगी। आज माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मुंह पे एक कड़ा तमाचा है।
The Supreme Court grants bail to AAP Chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal 6 months after his arrest in Liquorgate. The bail has been granted with conditions applying. The AAP claims it has been vindicated.
और ये कहना गलत नहीं होगा, जेल वाला सीएम अब बेल वाला सीएम हो गया है।
BJP stinging continuous attack on the AAP and Kejriwal. They say the bail is conditional. Kejriwal's role as the Chief Minister is basically rendered useless, they say, for he cannot sign any official documents and cannot even visit the Secretariat. The BJP says Kejriwal is now the bail CM from being a jail CM. Ladies and gentlemen, there is massive anti-Mamata public movement. Mamata Banerjee is trying to pull back. Yesterday she offered to resign. Today, the uprising against her is only getting stronger. The protests are escalating. And as the visuals showed, she has asked for new contractors to be brought in to increase the height of the barricades across all the areas where the protesters are beginning to gather in larger and larger and larger numbers. Let's debate.
Protests against Mamata have grown louder day after she offered to resign. Mamata's police was forced to put up 9 to 12 feet tall barricades, symbolizing Mamata's growing nervousness.
সোশ্যাল নেটওয়ার্কে অনেক ভুল বোঝাবুঝি হয়েছে, অনেক কুৎসা অপপ্রচার হয়েছে, যারা সাধারণ মানুষ জানতেন না যে এর মধ্যে একটা কালার আছে। মানুষ এসেছিলেন বিচার চাইতে তিলোত্তমার, কিন্তু আশা করি মানুষ বুঝতে পারছেন ওরা বিচার চায় না, ওরা চায় চেয়ার। আমি মানুষের স্বার্থে এমনকি নিজে পদত্যাগ করতেও রাজি আছি।
From the BJP to the left, to the people of Bengal, to the nation at large.
We will not stop unless the justice is done. We need justice. We want justice. We demand justice.
जल्द से जल्द जितने भी दोषी हैं उसको पकड़ के कड़ी से कड़ी सजा दीजिए.
The pressure on Mamata is growing, and yet after her offer, Mamata has failed to follow through. The Junior Doctors Front has written a letter to the President of India. They have pointed at the fact that they find themselves unable to work in a quote-unquote turbid atmosphere of fear, distrust and hopelessness. The question now is, will Mamata follow through on her resignation, or was the resignation offer just a lip service? So, just like to ask you, Tausif, how high can the barricades go?
because they went up to about 14 feet today. That was the biggest issue being discussed in the social media. Why are 14-foot high barricades required? Are you that scared of the left? Where the left was having its protest pictures are on the screen today. Very, very powerful protest by the left. The height of the barricades was 14 feet. Have you barricaded yourself?
You see, the city police is doing every bandobast that is required to maintain the law and order in the city. And they have the right to do so. But what did Supreme Court say today to CBI? A scathing attack by Justice Ujjal Bhuyan, who says that CBI must dispel notion of being a caged parrot and must show it is uncaged parrot.
You know, please don't allow him to digress from the topic.
CBI,
the discussion is not on CBI. The discussion is on Mamata Banerjee. The discussion is on Mamata Banerjee's failure as the Chief Minister. Mamata Banerjee's failure as the Home Minister. Mamata Banerjee's failure.
So 1 minute, Sanju, you must let him make his points. Thank you very much.
No, he cannot digress
Yeah,
from the
but
topic.
Sanju, you need to wait. You see, Tausif, my point was, and Fuad, you can take this forward. Has the Mamata government, Fuad, barricaded itself? Have they ended up barricading themselves from the people?
The remark of Supreme Court
government
raises question on the
trying
credibility of CBI.
to evade the concrete questions that the people of West Bengal are raising. The people of West Bengal, under the leadership of various organizations, and especially the doctors who are become one body, you got the senior doctors, the junior doctors, the interns and medical students, they are moving in unison, a picture that was never seen before. And they are raising vital questions which are not being answered either by the police administration or the health department or the Chief Minister's office. And these unanswered questions are definitely putting Mamata on the mat. And she has got her back to the wall. The police commissioner should resign immediately, because he is not only not answered questions, but it is now evident. And the evidence that has come forward that the police structure apparatus was complicit in trying to cover up whatever happened on the night of the 8th and 9th morning of August in regard to the murder of this medical student. The subsequent activities in the campuses that have come across, the absolute rampant threat culture, the way money was made right from students joining regarding the passing their examination, right up to postgraduate people getting their what you call postings, and doctors who are already employed if they were to move from one district to the other district. The amount of money was supposed to what was being transacted. All this is coming across.
Doctors of RGK.
Dr.
Fuad will agree.
Tausif, also
the left protesters were facing this barricade.
There are
not the doctors who are sitting and protesting outside.
No, they are still facing. We are facing these barricades.
They are not facing.
Those barricades were there. Those barricades were there for the doctors also.
Who see this as a political
No, Tausif, that's incorrect. The doctors who had moved to Lal Bazar, I was there that night.
Yeah,
Tausif, I was there that night. That night, the barricades were over there. They for the doctors. The whole night, the doctors protested, and they spent the entire night on the road. It's only the day after that the barricades were removed. So those barricades were there for the doctors. Now so please correct yourself. Please correct yourself. The barricades were there for the doctors, and that's the way the state is looking upon anybody who's trying to protest here in West Bengal.
You've got the barricades. We can see from the screen that this is not a doctor.
But the fact of the matter is now we have to be real here. We have to be real here. The fact is that the Advaita, and then I'll bring in the others. Advaita, the protests have not stopped. Somewhere these have captured the pulse, and one of the factors which has come before everyone is that for some reason the police wanted to carry out the post-mortem in a big hurry, and that can only happen through intervention of the Home Minister. The Home Minister is Mamata Banerjee. So why did Mamata Banerjee ask for the post-mortem and the inquest to be conducted breaking the rules after 4 p.m. We have a paper on that. Why did Mamata Banerjee effectively ask for the post-mortem to be conducted after 4 p.m. which is against the rules? very mysterious questions here, viewers, on the specific role of Mamata Banerjee herself. Advaita, should she have quit by now, taken her offer forward?
You know, I think this raising the height of the barricades and things of that nature show a paranoia which is very dangerous, especially for a person like Mamata Banerjee with her temperament. So, it's clear that a popularly elected leader at one point of time is finding herself pushed into a corner, and not by political opponents, but by her own public. And I think this is a very dangerous situation, given that we have seen so much political violence in West Bengal over the years.
Yes.
And also, the fact that, this political violence for so long was even, ignored by the people of West Bengal, thinking that it was what happened in politics. It had been normalized to a certain extent. But now when they're seeing it seeping into their own lives, this response has been so visceral. So when the doctors say that we don't feel safe, they genuinely mean it. They're not saying it because they're trying to be hyperbolic. They genuinely mean it because they have seen the spate of violence that has taken place in the state. So I think she's in a very precarious position. She has been trying to create a victimhood around herself. Last time around as well, she's been talking about how she's being personally targeted. But what she doesn't understand is that she is the Home Minister, the Health Minister, and the Chief Minister. So who else is going to be questioned in this matter? And I think, Arnab, frankly, this whole resignation thing was more of an attempt at being a victim of the situation. That nobody, is listening to her, and she's the actual victim. But she's still not getting it.
She's not, because this time, you see, everybody is against her. I'll tell you those who are. Before I go to Sanju, one point, please. Tausif, can you listen to me? Today, she is in a pitched battle with the doctors because she doesn't like the fact that the doctors are holding up. They're not listening to her. Why should they? She is hated by her own MPs. One by one, all are quitting.
Hate is
she is hated by the football fans because she lathi charged both East Bengal and Mohan Bagan. And she is fighting Abhaya's parents who accuse her of being a liar. Who's supporting her? There's nobody with Mamata except, maybe the Madan Mitra types. Sanju, please. Sanju.
Thank you. Now I waited for my turn for 23 minutes. Let me have my say. First and foremost, I think Advaita used the term paranoia, and I think that absolutely fits the bill when it comes to Mamata Banerjee. She's paranoid, she's desperate, she's clueless about how to tackle the mass uprising against her. I will just read out in 20 seconds a post by Mamata Banerjee at 5 p.m. on 13th September on X, Twitter. It is sad and unfortunate that we have lost 29 precious lives due to disruption in health services because of long-drawn siege of work by junior doctors. In order to extend a helping hand to the bereaved families, state government announces a token financial relief of 2 lakh to family members of each deceased person. Basically, Mamata Banerjee is doing two things. A, she's playing the proverbial victim card. B, she's now trying to actually malign the credibility of the junior doctors and the medical fraternity, which is protesting against her incompetence in handling the entire Arjikar medical issue. Look at the kind of words she has used. Even otherwise, she says, I waited for 1.5 hours at Nabanna, but the medics and the doctors refused to meet me. She refuses to acknowledge that the doctors refused to meet her only because she and her stooge, the Chief Secretary Manoj Pant, refused to live stream the proceedings of the said meeting, which was actually agreed upon in advance. And at the nth minute, Mamata Banerjee decided live stream will not happen, but a recorded session will be put out for the benefit of the public and journalists, to which the protesting doctors took offense too. My only point is this very quickly. Udayan Guha, a TMC leader, said, "Hum tumhari ungli tod denge," to protesting doctors and students. Lovely Maitra, a TMC leader, she says that the protesting doctors are butchers. Atish Sarkar, another TMC MLA says we will do to protesting doctors what actually happened within the premises of RG. Look at this shameful statement, and what was the punishment to him? He was barely suspended for a year. Atish Sarkar has not been expelled by Mamata Banerjee despite threatening doctors and telling तुम्हारे साथ वही किया जाएगा जो आरजीकर प्रेमाइसेस के अंदर के साथ हुआ. And look at Kunal Ghosh. He says, so what? It was just a rape. It was not a gang rape. What does Jola Sen say? So what? It's not a big deal. It was just a rape. It was not a gang rape. As if a gang rape is a big deal, but a rape and a murder is not a big deal. Look at the shameless audacity of the entire TMC top brass. I tell you, Arnav, the doctors are protesting because the state health secretary has not resigned, which was their demand. The director of health services has not resigned. The director of health education has not resigned. And the BJP is demanding a polygraph test for Mamata Banerjee, a polygraph test for Vineet Jindal, the police commissioner, a polygraph test for the DGP of West Bengal, Rajiv Kumar, and the BJP is saying that Mamata should not only resign, but let the investigation proceed.
But why can't, I mean, one option is, Fuad, why doesn't she call a fresh election? If this issue has become intensely political, can she face an election? Can she, can she face an election, or has the left become stronger?
Arnav, I have a question.
You see,
Mr. Modi
one minute. See, the question of facing election and to actually discuss these things at the moment is something that one should not allow the TMC to use, because at the moment the focus demand is for the health department and its officers to clean up their act. The focus demand is the Calcutta police, which has been found complicit. Its head, that's the Calcutta Commissioner of Police, he should resign. You know, the question is, if you keep expanding at this point of time, the issues are going to escalate. I know that. And ultimately, the Chief Minister of State has to take responsibility, which is why, you know, she's played that very role very importantly. You know, her mentor, Narendra Modi, played it a number of times when he said, "Hum to fakir aadmi hai, jhola leke chal padenge." So she's given a different, what you call, twist to that, and spoken about it yesterday. You know, in tandem these comments come. But we are moving in a very focused way. We've got evidences that are pinning certain people on the floor, and these people who have already been pinned, and they need to, their head needs to roll. And we've seen the people of West Bengal are actually coming at this point of time in unity across. You've got the cities, you've got the villages, you've got the mofussil, you've got the towns, you've got a language in which the people of West Bengal are speaking, which was never ever heard before. And the situation on the ground is such is that
Mamata Banerjee has failed. I repeat, as the Chief Minister, Mamata has failed as the Home Minister, Mamata has failed as the Health Minister.
They're not being able to actually face the questions being raised by the people.
Istifa dijiye. It's time for Mamata Banerjee to wake up and smell the coffee, and leaders like Fuad.
Ladies and gentlemen, bottom line is Mamata seems to have pulled back from her offer to resign yesterday. She should have resigned.
You would like to throw a lifeline by giving an issue that the TMC.
But Fuad, you're giving the lifeline by having a strong alliance with her in Delhi.
The question has to go according to.
CPM is a bunch of hypocrites. You're sitting here and criticizing Mamata Banerjee on the debate on Republic, but you are part of the India Alliance. Why can't you break away from the India Alliance? You're mollycoddling Mamata Banerjee as part of the India Alliance.
Don't talk through your hat. Nobody considers you seriously anymore on national network. So the concrete reality in West Bengal is that you've got a people's movement that's developing, a people's movement that's very, very focused, the people's movement which is actually putting the Mamata Banerjee regime on the mat, on the floor. They are not allowing any sort of distraction or any sort of slogan that's going to take away the people's focus as to how the Trinamool hierarchy have ensured that corruption enters into all walks of
viewers,
life
I think
and they are not leaving any quarter.
But
the people are not leaving
only
any
to conclude now with one thing,
for the TMC to run away from the back door.
Yeah, what the remarkable thing is Mamata Banerjee's ability for U-turns. She's done a U-turn after offering to quit yesterday. That's where it stands. From Bengal to Himachal Pradesh, ladies and gentlemen, and in Himachal Pradesh, which is undergoing a historic economic crisis, it has now landed itself in a big tussle directly with the people of the state. Just a few days after tensions were very high in Shimla because of people objecting to an illegal construction on a mosque in Sanjoli, today a public agitation broke out in Mandi, where people are now protesting against the encroachment by another illegal structure on PWD land, which happens to be a mosque once again. Here's the situation and then we debate.
Himachal's Mandi witnessed a massive protest today against construction of an illegal structure right in the heart of the city. Locals in large numbers gathered on streets and demanded illegal structure to be demolished. Violence soon erupted after the protesters clashed with the police. Police used water cannons to disperse the crowd and imposed prohibitory orders.
हमारा मेन एम है कि हमने लॉ एंड ऑर्डर मेंटेन रखना है, किसी भी तरह की कोई वायलेशन नहीं होने देनी है. इफ समबडी इज कमिंग, किसी का कोई पॉइंट है पीसफुली कि आगे बताना चाहते हैं, कुछ बात रखना चाहते हैं, दैट्स अ डिफरेंट थिंग, बट लॉ एंड ऑर्डर हैज टू बी.
Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu made an appeal to the people of the state to maintain peace and brotherhood.
हिमाचल एक शांति प्रिय प्रदेश है, सौहार्द वाला प्रदेश है और इस प्रदेश में किसी को भी शांति बिगाड़ने का अधिकार नहीं है, कानून व्यवस्था को बिगाड़ने का अधिकार नहीं है. सभी राजनीतिक दल इसमें हमारा सहयोग दे, सभी ने आश्वासन दिया.
Meanwhile, the BJP has gone all guns blazing against the Congress, accusing it of unleashing atrocities on protesters. It must be noted that similar protests took place in Shimla over the same issue just 2 days ago. Is Sukhu government not keeping a check over the illegal constructions cropping up across the state? Does Chief Minister's appeal to maintain peace and brotherhood make any sense when it is time to take strict action?
Ladies and gentlemen, the pictures are on your screen. And I would just like to say this, that this is an organic protest. Of course, it has political overtones, but Hindus are protesting in very, very, very large numbers in Himachal Pradesh. This is happening at a time when there has been total financial mismanagement in Himachal, where there is a Congress government. They have been unable to pay salaries, they have been unable to pay pensions. The entire state government has essentially collapsed completely. Timed with that, we see an increasing pro-Hindu agitation which is going on. Rather than call it only pro-Hindu, I think it will be more appropriate to call this anti-illegal structures. Now, what are the protesters talking about? The protesters are basically saying very strongly that illegal structures must not be allowed, whether this be a mosque or any other structure. Now, in this case, they are saying that there are clearly a lot of illegal structures which are being used as mosques, or mosques which are essentially illegal structures and they need to be demolished. They've also made the point, viewers, that the land of the Public Works Department has been encroached on. So this issue needs to be understood in its entirety. And the fact is that the municipal corporation has served notices to the mosque management committee in this regard. So it's not just as if, this has not been followed through, it's a figment of anyone's imagination. The fact is that there are mosques and there are managements of mosques, and the managements of mosques are doing whatever they please. They are breaking the rules, they are violating the rules for construction, and obviously they expect to be treated as a special case. Viewers, I first have Raman Malik with us. He's a political observer. Raman, I'm starting with you before the debate. Is this politically orchestrated? Is the BJP basically behind the protests at a time when the Congress government is already in trouble because of financial issues? What do you think?
No, I think you must understand Himachal. I happen to be half Himachali because my mother used to be. She was born and brought up in Himachal. She was a bona fide agriculturist. So I can buy land as a Himachali. So that is why I am saying that I am half Himachali. And I can tell you very clearly that in Himachal, the maximum extent where Muslims went in history was till some limits in Kangra. Beyond that, Muslims never, through Akbar also, did not ever go. So you have to understand that these are basically infiltrators into the society of Himachal. Number one must understand this. Second, most of these are either Rohingyas or they are from West Bengal and other areas or Kashmir. They are not other, these are the only sects of people. Now, the whole problem is, Arnab, one must understand that they are infiltrating and they are doing all the dubious activities which they are doing otherwise also. There are cases never heard in Himachal of love jihad. There are cases of encroachment. There are cases of other things. So these are there. Now these are evident realities and people have got together. They are not orchestrated by any political forces. They are a confederation of people who have got together for their pride. Now if you look at Himachal, Himachal is mostly either Rajputs or Brahmins and they are very proud Sanatanis. And a lot of villages, a lot of small towns have their own Devi Devtas which they follow. So that is also a cultural thing there which needs to be understood. And they do not interfere into anything, but they do not tolerate misbehavior of any sort.
So, मुफ्ती मंजूर ज़ियाई, आप डिबेट पे हैं, हमारे साथ रमन मलिक है, करण है, और जो सिचुएशन है करण, ये ऐसा है हिमाचल में जो अनसीन लेवल ऑफ प्रोटेस्ट हो रही, कंसोलिडेटेड हिंदू प्रोटेस्ट. हिंदूज आर ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स. टेक अ लुक एट द विजुअल्स व्यूअर्स. अगर कोई सोचे इसको सोची समझी तरीके से इसको मैनेज किया जाएगा, फैक्ट इज कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट मैनेज नहीं कर पा रही है. मंडी में प्रोटेस्ट है, शिमला में प्रोटेस्ट है, पूरे हिमाचल प्रदेश में आज प्रोटेस्ट ही प्रोटेस्ट है, क्योंकि ये कह रहे हैं, दे आर सेइंग दैट इलीगल स्ट्रक्चर्स मॉस्क्स को बनाया जा रहा है. उसके साथ देखिए मुफ्ती ज़ियाई, कोई अगर लव जिहाद कर रहा है आप डिसमिस नहीं कर सकते, और इन्फिल्ट्रेटर्स अगर आ रहे हैं आपके घर में घुसकर अगर कोई आप कहे कि ये घर मेरा है, और उसके साथ अगर रोहिंग्या भी आ रहे हैं, इफ़ देर आर रोहिंग्याज, बांग्लादेशीज who are entering into Himachal and troubling the cultural and social fabric of the state, then people will protest. उसके साथ साथ पनाह देने के लिए कोई अगर मस्जिद इंक्रोचमेंट कर रही है तो लोग तो गुस्सा होंगे.
नहीं ना, देखिए हमारे भाई साहब ये कह रहे थे कि वी आर प्राउड ऑन सनातन, तो मैं उनसे कहना चाहूंगा वी आर प्राउड ऑन इंडियंस. अगर कोई भी इंडियन, वो कश्मीर का हो, इंडियन हमारे
रोहिंग्या इंडियन नहीं है.
हमारे नहीं मेरी बात सुन लीजिए, मैं कंप्लीट कर
रोहिंग्या इंडियन नहीं है.
नहीं, रोहिंग्या की बात कन्वर्टेड मुसलमान है, आप कोई अरब से नहीं आए हैं. आप कन्वर्टेड मुसलमान है, अरब से नहीं आए हैं.
बहुत फख्र करता हूं. अगर आप सिर्फ सनातनी होने पर फख्र करने की बात करते हैं तो मैं इंडियन होने पर फख्र करने की बात करता हूं. और अगर वेस्ट बंगाल से आए हुए लोग, भाई साहब
सनातनी हो,
आपने अपने टर्म को पूरा किया, मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप मुझे सुनेंगे.
आप सिर्फ वो सनातनी हो मुझे सुनने की, मुसलमान बन गए, फर्क सिर्फ इतना है.
मैं आपकी कदर करते हुए मैं कहना चाहूंगा, कम से कम मुझे
करता हूं मैं आपको.
नहीं आप मुझे सुन तो लें साहब, आप सुनना ही पसंद नहीं करते हैं. आखिर क्यों? हमारे चेहरे पे कुछ ऐसा चीज लिखा हुआ है कि आप हमारा चेहरा देखना पसंद नहीं करते, हमारी आवाज सुनना पसंद नहीं करते? हमें से सुन लीजिए ना. देश हमारा भी है ना, देश के लोग सुन रहे हैं हमारी बातों को, और आप भी सुनेंगे तो हमें अच्छा लगेगा और खुशी होगी. और अर्नब का चैनल पूरे देश में, पूरी दुनिया में देखा जाता है. मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि जिस तरह से अगर कोई गलत इंक्रोचमेंट हुआ है उसे तोड़ा जाए, किसी को एतराज नहीं है.
अगर मस्जिद हो तब भी,
रहने वाला,
अगर मस्जिद हो तब भी,
प्रदेश का रहने वाला हिमाचल में जाके रहता है तो इसमें दिक्कत क्या हो सकती है? मंडी में क्या हिंदुस्तान के दूसरे हिस्से के लोग नहीं रह सकते? अगर मंडी हुकूमत, वहां की हिमाचल की हुकूमत अगर उसे संभाल नहीं पा रही है तो रोहिंग्या को उसको वापस उनके कंट्री में भेज दे, उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई करे. अगर वो इंडियन नहीं है कोई, अगर वहां पर गैर कंट्री का कोई रहने वाला, उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई की मांग मैं मुफ्ती मंजूर ज़ियाई करता हूं आपके सामने. मैं ऐसे लोगों की कभी भी सराहना नहीं कर सकता जो हमारे मुल्क के वासी नहीं है। हमारे मुल्क के वासी हमारे पंडित हैं, हमारे मुल्क के वासी राजपूत हैं, हमारे मुल्क के वासी मुसलमान हैं, जो हम एक दूसरे के तई मोहब्बत के साथ करते हैं। और बात जहां तक है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के अंदर में किसी चीज की अगर कुछ गलत हो रहा है तो उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई हुई। वहां के लोगों ने खुद ही मस्जिद के हिसार को तोड़ दिया अपने आप से। तो ये देखिए, ये हमारे मुल्क का फैब्रिक है, इसके साथ छेड़छाड़ नहीं होना चाहिए।
फैब्रिक में आप एनक्रोचमेंट और रोहिंग्या को मत लाइए। करण वर्मा रिस्पॉन्ड करें।
रोहिंग्या की कोई बात नहीं कर रहा। और ना मैं
अगर रोहिंग्या है तो है, तहकीकात तो करनी पड़ेगी ना, कितने रोहिंग्या है, कब से है, कैसे घुसे।
अर्नब, जस्ट टू गिव यू,
रोहिंग्या हिमाचली नहीं होते।
एक सेकंड अर्नब प्लीज, इन द संजौली मार्केट एरिया में मौलाना साहब से इस साल, अरे अब एक मिनट सुन लीजिए प्लीज भाई, इस साल 22 इंसिडेंट्स ऑफ थेफ्ट्स संजौली मॉस्क के एरिया के आसपास मार्केट एरिया में, 5 चेन स्नैचिंग इंसिडेंट्स, 2 abductions and 1 businessman brutally beaten and abducted. 50 से 100 लोग अर्नब, they stay in the mosque at night. There was a racket busted by the Himachal Pradesh police which says 2000 people did not have proper Aadhaar cards. उनकी date of birth सबकी was 1st January 2007 mentioned, and many of them are, as per the report of the UP ATS, they've escaped from UP, entered Himachal, and they are staying in these mosques. Women cannot step out. This is the condition you've reduced this place to. Uske baad you have the gall to say, oh, we belong to this place. Of course you belong to this place, but you can't take the law in your hands. You can't create a nuisance. You can't abduct people. You can't brutalize businessmen. So, and Arnab, this has been happening since 2010. During COVID, all these illegal encroachments happened, in fact, double down when there were lockdowns. I have been going to this area from 5 years, almost consistently due to some business, and I have seen this. People raise a silent protest. Now, the camel's back has broken. They've had enough. The women cannot step out. मतलब abduction से लेके love jihad, it has become a festering ground, a breeding ground for crime. आपको बोलना चाहिए इसके खिलाफ। आप अगर भारतीय हैं पहले तो बोलिए कि जो इलीगल मॉस्क है इसको रूरल डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्टर अनिरुद्ध सिंह ने फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस को माना है कि इलीगल है।
अगर मुसलमानों के ऊपर थोपने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहे हैं आप?
मुसलमान की बातें लॉ एंड ऑर्डर है। दिस इज लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सर।
उत्तर प्रदेश में
आप क्या बातें कर रहे हैं?
जगहों पर हो रहा है, इसकी
रमन एंड मुफ्ती
टुगेदर आना पड़ेगा और कार्रवाई करवानी पड़ेगी।
जहां आप जाते हैं वहीं फसाद क्यों होता है?
पूरे हिंदुस्तान में अलग अलग
जहां आप जाते हैं वहीं फसाद क्यों होता है? जहां आप जाते हैं या आपके जो अनुयायी हैं ये जाते हैं वहीं फसाद क्यों होता है?
नहीं, बहुत गलत
भाई। आपको 1947 में एक खिता दे दिया गया। आपको 1947 में एक खिता दे दिया गया। आप आराम से जियो और जीने दो।
जगह पर भी हो रहा होता है, जिस जगह पर अकेला मुसलमान चलता है उसको रास्ता पर चलते हुए उसको मार दिया जाता है। उसको क्या कहेंगे भाई साहब?
दुखी करा हुआ पूरे दुनिया को।
57
मुल्क है इस्लामिक, और बैठना तुमको वहां है जहां शरिया नहीं है। बाद में आके बोलोगे यहाँ पर शरिया देश है। यूके को आप शरिया बनाना चाहते हो,
रहते हैं
इसलिए बनाना
जीते हैं, जहाँ खाते हैं, और
क्योंकि ये सोच बात कर रहे हैं। अब मैं आपसे एक चीज बताऊं, अभी जरा शांत होकर सुनिए। आप हिमाचल के अंदर कोई भी भारतीय जमीन 218-220 गज से ऊपर नहीं खरीद सकता। उसके लिए सेक्शन 118 की क्लियरेंस चाहिए। वहां पे सबसे पहले वहां की सरकार को यह देखना चाहिए कि कितने मस्जिद बने हैं जो 220-18 मीटर से ऊपर हैं, और उनको पहले देखो कि 118 सेक्शन जो है वो क्लियर हुआ है। अगर नहीं हुआ
there is one matter there, रमन इसमें सेंसिटिविटी। एक मिनट, मुफ्ती ज़ियाई जी लिसन टू मी। देखिए, 55 साल पुरानी काली माता मंदिर मायापुरी चौक में इसको डिमोलिश की गई क्योंकि कहा गया था जो रास्ता है उसको एनक्रोच किया गया। तो जो मंदिर एनक्रोचमेंट करते हैं, मंदिरों को तोड़ा जाता है। तब हिंदू समाज सामने आके बोले कि नहीं, मंदिर है, आप कुछ टच नहीं कर सकते, है ना?
मुस्लिम समाज ने भी नहीं कहा। मुस्लिम समाज ने अपने हाथों से मस्जिद की दीवारों को तोड़ दिया है साहब।
भैया मैं मेरी बात सुनिए,
जब वहां की हालत देखिए,
आप इसको मुस्लिम राइट्स की बात कर लेते हैं ना। आपको अगर इसमें कानून की बात करेंगे तो आप कहेंगे नो दिस इज वायलेशन ऑफ फंडामेंटल राइट्स।
खुद से तोड़ दिया।
आपकी हालत मैं बता देता हूं। आप लोगों की जमात जो है ना, उसका एक फलसफा है। वो फलसफा ये है, जब तादाद में छोटे होते हो ना तो हर वो काम करते हो जो आइन के साथ हो। जब जमात बढ़ जाती है तो आइन को तोड़ देते हो।
हमारे बारे में
ये आपकी फितरत है, ये आप लोगों की फितरत है साहब, ये नया नहीं है,
हम आपसे मोहब्बत
ये
करते
पुराना काम है आपका। When you are smaller in numbers, you do as the law says. When you are larger in number, wherever you cross 25%,
So see, I'll tell you one question. Shyam Meka, you know, मैं आपको मुफ्ती ज़ियाई जी हिस्टोरिकली देखा जाए तो कांग्रेस पार्टी की अप्रोच कैसे रही, और ये कांग्रेस की ही नहीं, लेफ्ट की भी हुई है, तृणमूल कांग्रेस की भी है, कि इन्फिल्ट्रेटर्स को आने दीजिए, ये मुस्लिम वोट बैंक कलेक्टिवली वोट करते हैं, और ये मुस्लिम वोट बैंक हिंदू अलग अलग वोट करते हैं, अपने इंडिविजुअल चॉइस पर करते हैं, बट मुस्लिम्स जब वोट करते हैं एज अ ग्रुप, है ना, एज अ ग्रुप वो वोट करते हैं, तो मुस्लिम वोट बैंक की यूजफुलनेस बहुत ज़्यादा है, कांग्रेस पार्टी ये जानती है। इसलिए कांग्रेस पार्टी ने सालों साल दशकों से दे हैव कल्टिवेटेड मुस्लिम वोट बैंक। दैट इज वाई राहुल गांधी इज मीटिंग ऑल दिस इल्हान ओमर, इंडियन अमेरिकन मुस्लिम काउंसिल। आप सुन लीजिए मेरी बात, क्या तकलीफ हो रही है आपको ज़ियाई जी, मैं थोड़ा और तकलीफ देता हूं। और देखिए इसके कारण आप क्या करते हैं, आप कोई भी स्टेट का एग्जाम्पल लीजिए, आसाम की एग्जाम्पल ले लीजिए। आसाम की हालत जो है, 8-9 डिस्ट्रिक्ट हैं, मुस्लिम मेजॉरिटी हो गई है। अब ये कैसे हुई है? इन्फिल्ट्रेटर्स के कारण। मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन ऑर्गेनिकली नहीं इंक्रीज हुई है। और हर बार कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कहा है, हमने तो किसी बांग्लादेशी को नहीं देखा आप एंटी मुस्लिम हो। हमने कहा हम एंटी मुस्लिम नहीं, हम एंटी फॉरेनर है, हम एंटी इन्फिल्ट्रेटर है। कांग्रेस पार्टी ये कहती है नहीं नहीं आप एंटी मुस्लिम हो। सो द पॉइंट इज व्हाट कांग्रेस पार्टी हैज डन इन आसाम, what left and Trinamool have done in Bengal, Congress party may be doing the same thing in Himachal. Bring the Muslims in large numbers, pretend not to see, allow encroachment. Encroachment हुआ तो होने दो, illegal structure होने दो, मगर ये जो बहुत पावरफुल वोट बैंक हमारे लिए बन जाएगी, मुस्लिम वोट बैंक, राइट? श्याम मेका
बोल दिया ना,
श्याम मेका he is laughing
because आपने मन की बात बोल दी इनकी। This is exactly what the Congress stands for.
It is exactly what they want.
Mikaji at least he's an honest man, he'll agree. This is the fact. Every time Himanta Da does something, they label him communal, bigot, all these labels, because they don't want any such action. Arnab, you just hit the nail on its head. Hindus को कास्ट और इन सब पे बांटते रहेंगे, मुस्लिम्स का वोट भी कंसोलिडेट करेंगे, उसमें कास्ट सेंसस की भी बात नहीं करेंगे, उसमें
राहुल गांधी wants to divide everyone except Muslims. Rahul Gandhi's approach is divide Hindus from Sikhs, divide Hindus within Hindus, but unite the Muslims. Why does Rahul Gandhi see himself as a Muslim vote unifier? Pin drop silence. Are you seeing that pin drop silence, Raman? Huh? Because they know this is the truth.
ये तो कांग्रेस ही बताएंगे।
And people in Himachal should be very careful, because if a Congress party can turn Himachal into an infiltrator run state, they're totally capable of doing it.
Arnab, you remember, you will remember a classic case of this place in Kath Godam in Uttarakhand, Haldwani. And the way they captured the railway land, and then when the Honorable High Court said that removed them from the railway land, they started
Tomorrow, Congress will even insist that Rohingyas are Himachali. They are completely capable of doing that. Like they say Bangladeshis are Assamese.
Gandhi can buy land in Himachal.
Yeah.
You cannot go and buy large piece of land unless and until you cannot, you take a cabinet approval. But for Priyanka Gandhi, every door is open.
Yeah, Shamika.
See, Arnav, see, what are we trying to establish here? What are we trying to establish here?
I'll tell you, sir.
Okay, tell me, please.
Sir, two facts. One, you are increasing and systematically putting a demographic change in Himachal. That is one plan of yours. The second plan is that after financial brutality on the state, You are doing physical brutality on the state by putting water cannon and lathi charge on people who are protesting for their right of culture. Third most important fact, sir, that things are beyond your control and you are trying to become a dictator, which through 75
Please respond,
Congress
Shyam.
has always been.
Shyam, you seem a little...
I will learn up. See, you are saying we are trying to establish that. I asked a simple question. What are you trying to establish? You mentioned 3 points. See, point number 1. You are saying
only 1 point. Why can't an illegal structure, if it is a mosque, be demolished?
Himachal Pradesh.
You see, mosques can't encroach. Illegal structures have to be demolished because in Tamil Nadu, when the reason for illegal temple construction by encroaching the Adya riverbed in Vardarajapuram, Tamil Nadu officials at that point of time, along with police, headed towards by the Tambaram assistant commissioner, visited the spot and started to demolish the temple. मैं कह रहा हूँ मंदिर है तो उनको तोड़ी जाती.
See, it's not. I don't care.
Don't break the temples. Say that all temples can encroach.
Mosque, right? Now, why are we making it an issue?
It is an issue. We all have equal rights.
It is the public who chose. It is the same public who voted you in power. वही हिमाचली हैं जिन्होंने आपको पावर दिया.
And we are not saying it. Your minister, your minister Anirudh Singh said it on the floor of the house. And at that time when he said it, your chief minister was dozing off. Visuals the. He was sleeping. Did you see the visuals, Karan?
No, Arnab, very simple thing is, yes, we are a society which has a lot of contradictions.
Oh God.
We adopted a constitution.
So boring.
Sir, Himachal ke andar,
no,
let
it's
me tell
boring
you,
for you.
Himachal does not have any Muslim population or base. Neither does it have a history. Stop changing histories of places.
अरे भाई
हिमाचल देवभूमि है. हर कण कण में शंकर है. हर कण कण में शंकर है. वहाँ पे कोई अल्लाहू अकबर नहीं है.
मुफ्ती सियाई.
ये क्या है?
मुफ्ती सियाई.
बहुत अफसोसनाक मैसेज ये भाई साहब दे रहे हैं कि कण-कण में शंकर है तो सिर्फ हिमाचल में ही शंकर है या पूरे देश भर में शंकर है? आपको ये समझ कहते हुए बिल्कुल
देश भर में है.
हिंदुस्तान पूरे
देश भर में है. आपने तो
हिंदू का है और
शंकर को फुवारा बोल दिया. आपने तो शंकर को फुवारा बोल दिया.
बहुत अफसोसनाक है. बहुत शर्मनाक बात आप कर रहे हैं कि आप
अरे आपको शर्म आ रही है तो बुर्का पहन के बैठिए.
वहां पर अल्लाह वो की सजाएं नहीं होंगी.
आपने शंकर को फुवारा बोल दिया. हम चुप रहे. ये हमारी गलती है. आज हिमाचल के लोगों ने.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm overshooting the time limit here. I'm overshooting the time limit here. When I'm back, Arvind Kejriwal's bail order on this one. On Arvind Kejriwal's bail order is what I'm going to be looking at, viewers, and we'll talk when I'm back about both sides of the bail order, why the judgment was split, and whether this can be seen as a complete or a partial victory for Arvind Kejriwal in a few minutes.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Co-powered by Jaguar Bath & Light.
Amity University is organizing an international conference on semiconductor technologies, materials to chips, with over 200 speakers and delegates from top organizations and global academic institutions from 11 countries. This is another initiative by Amity, aligned with the Government of India's semiconductor mission.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
तो आपके घर वाले अभी कैसे रिएक्ट करें, जो कि उन्होंने भी शुरुआत में से आप कह रहे हैं टॉन्ट्स वगैरह, उनको भी हर्ट तो करता ही होगा, उनको भी लगता होगा मेरे बेटे को लेकर कहीं ना कहीं आगे फ्यूचर को लेकर भी काफ़ी दिमाग में बातें आती होंगी।
पर मेरा परिवार ही मेरी ताकत रहा है, क्योंकि उन्होंने ही मेरे को सपोर्ट किया है। मेरे को मेरी रीढ़ की हड्डी ही मेरा परिवार रहा है। उन्होंने सपोर्ट किया है, खड़ा किया है, मेरे को मजबूत किया है। कोई बात नहीं, तू तगड़ा है, तू करके कर देगा, मेरे को भरोसा है। ऐसे मतलब जब मिलता है कि हाँ ठीक है, अगर ये ऐसा बोल रहे हैं मतलब इन्होंने मेरे को पता, इनको मेरा पता है, तो इतना सा सपोर्ट काफ़ी है। फिर अंदर से ही अपने आप हौसला आ जाता है। तो फिर परिवार से ज़्यादा सपोर्ट मिला तो वो खुश हैं, काफ़ी खुश हैं कि गांव का नाम रोशन हुआ। आज पूरा गांव मुझे पिक करने आया था एयरपोर्ट पे, तो काफ़ी भीड़ थी, मैं बात भी नहीं कर पाया। काफ़ी मतलब पूरा परिवार, पूरा गांव, बहुत खुशी का माहौल है। सभी मिलना चाहते थे, सभी बात करना चाहते थे, और उन्होंने भी वायरल वीडियो देखा, वो भी बहुत खुश थे कि हाँ ठीक है, तूने गांव का नाम रोशन किया है। और काफ़ी मतलब सब सही है। अभी गांव प्राउड कर रहा है, पूरा पानीपत प्राउड कर रहा है, पूरा हरियाणा, पूरा देश प्राउड कर रहा है।
जी, तो आप ना शुरू से ही क्या स्कूल टाइम से ही आप करते थे, स्पोर्ट्स में पार्टिसिपेट करते थे?
बचपन से ही इंटरेस्ट स्पोर्ट्स में रहा है। पढ़ाई के लिए तो मतलब यही था, टीचर मारते थे, पढ़ता नहीं है, क्योंकि वही था कि पढ़ाई बहुत आसान है एज कंपेरिजन टू स्पोर्ट्स। अगर मैं आपको कंपेयर करके दिखाऊं तो पढ़ाई करने वाला बंदा
इन लोगों ने मुझे जेल में डाल दिया। इन लोगों को लगा कि केजरीवाल को जेल में डाल देंगे तो केजरीवाल के हौसले टूट जाएंगे। आज मैं आपको कहना चाहता हूं, मैं जेल से बाहर आया हूं, मेरे हौसले 100 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं, मेरी ताकत 100 गुना ज्यादा बढ़ गई है।
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Co-powered by Jaguar Bath and Light.
Amity University is organizing an international conference on semiconductor technologies, materials to chips, with over 200 speakers and delegates from top organizations and global academic institutions from 11 countries. This is another initiative by Amity, aligned with the Government of India's semiconductor mission.
Director, the taste of success.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
Unprecedented public appearance of the world's two top spy masters this week in London. CIA Director William Burns and MI6 Chief Richard Moore shared their worldview at a conclave talk show. This happened as the United States arrested two high-profile Chinese spies in New York and Washington, D.C. Join me as I unspool the West's geostrategic thought process through these developments over the weekend on Get Me Right.
Mamata Banerjee has offered to quit, and that is good. She should have offered to quit a long time back. I need to know when she's quitting. We just don't want to know whether she's quitting as Chief Minister from the Chief Minister's position. Because if a person called Mamata Banerjee continues to be Home Minister of Bengal, then that's very dangerous for the people of Bengal. And if she's offering to quit, it is no act of martyrdom, for she deserves no sympathy, not an ounce of sympathy. The end of your political journey will have one headline: a politician hated by the people. You expect the people to forgive you? Forgive you for what? Years and decades of deceit, lies, corruption and exploitation? For running a dictatorial tyranny? For being the worst Chief Minister in the history of the country? And for thinking you can manipulate people? You could manipulate some people, but that was some time back. Now there is a Republic, Mamata Banerjee. And the public is with the Republic. And you are facing a kind of anger that you've not faced before.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the nation's sharpest opinion. There are two sides to the visual that you are seeing on your screen tonight of Arvind Kejriwal getting bail after 6 months. Let's run the pictures in the liquor gate scam. It is a political victory undoubtedly for Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, because the Honorable Supreme Court has said that the CBI needs to dispel the notion of being a caged parrot, and without a doubt these observations of the top court will have far-reaching and stinging consequences in political discourse as far as the opposition is concerned. And in that, it is a sure shot setback for the CBI and the BJP. Second, Arvind Kejriwal's bail order comes on the eve of the Haryana elections, which will give the AAP a big electoral boost that it would have been waiting for. And third, as equally, Arvind Kejriwal bail is not good news for the Congress party, because the Aam Aadmi Party has already ditched them in Haryana. They are getting more politically ambitious in Haryana, and now there is likely to be a split in the anti-BJP vote, because Arvind Kejriwal will give everything at it now that he is out. Anyway, things are not going swimmingly between AAP and the Congress party. So this could, in a way, have politically some benefit for the BJP. However, legally, and this point has to be made, this is no exoneration for Arvind Kejriwal and what he may have done. There is no clean chit. The Supreme Court, across its 60-page order, has nowhere said that there is no case against Kejriwal, there is no evidence against him. So legally speaking, Kejriwal getting bail doesn't water down the allegations or the findings, and certainly does not make liquor gate scam go away. In fact, with the Supreme Court saying that the arrest was not illegal, establishes that there was no procedural irregularity as the AAP was claiming. And then beyond this order, there is still no clarity whether Arvind Kejriwal deliberately tweaked and manipulated the now scrapped controversial liquor policy. There is no clarity on that. Whether Arvind Kejriwal got a share of the profits from wholesalers, there is no clarity on that. Whether Arvind Kejriwal's campaign benefited through the proceeds of crime. There is still no clarity on whether Arvind Kejriwal or his party demanded kickbacks from the quote-unquote South group of 100 crores and more. So, in a way, beyond the visuals on your screen and how it will play out politically in Haryana, remember, viewers, this is a case of alleged political corruption. And that case, Liquorgate, legally continues to be very much there. And Arvind Kejriwal will have to prove his innocence against the findings of the agencies. So viewers, that is my view on today's developments. So we are going to have a very pitched up BJP debate I'm starting with tonight. And then we are going to open up the debate as well. You decide which way you stand, viewers. Here is the story of the day.
Six months after his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate in Liquorgate probe, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has been granted bail. While granting bail, the Supreme Court made some pointed observations.
Observations made by Justice Surya Supreme Court. No impediment in arresting someone already in custody. Remember, Arvind Kejriwal was first arrested by the Enforcement Directorate, and thereafter, once his custody was exhausted, the CBI had taken over and arrested him. Observations by Justice Bhuyan, CBI's appearance. Now, he has questioned CBI stepping in and then arresting Arvind Kejriwal. So, CBI's appearance raises more questions than answers in this case. That's what Justice Bhuyan had said.
The bail was granted on some conditions. The Supreme Court directed Kejriwal not to make any public comment on the merits of the case. Kejriwal will also not be allowed to perform his chief ministerial duties, visit the CM office or the Delhi Secretariat. In his bail tenure, Kejriwal will also not be able to interact with any witness. And while the Aam Aadmi Party is claiming vindication, the BJP says that Kejriwal has yet not been proven clean.
आज माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मुंह पे एक कड़ा तमाचा है कि आप एजेंसियों का दुरुपयोग कर रहे हो। आपने एजेंसियों को अपना केज पैरेट बना के रखा हुआ है। ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने बहुत साफ शब्दों में कहा कि सीबीआई केज पैरेट की तरह से काम कर रही है।
6 महीने तक किसी संवैधानिक पद पे कोई व्यक्ति बैठा हो, उसके लिए तो एक दिन अगर वो जेल चला जाए तो बहुत बड़ी बात होती है, इस्तीफा दे देना चाहिए। यहां 6 महीने तक जेल में रहकर आए और आज कंडीशनल बेल मिलने पर भी इस्तीफा नहीं दिया है।
Kejriwal is the third AAP leader to get bail in Liquorgate scam after Sanjay Singh and Manish Sisodia. Who benefits from Kejriwal getting bail?
We have 1 versus 1 to start with tonight. Anmol Pawar, spokesperson of the AAP, and Shazia Elmi, spokesperson of the BJP. My first question is to Shazia Elmi. Justice Bhuyan said, such action on the part of the CBI raises a serious question mark on the timing of the arrest, rather on the arrest itself. For 22 months, CBI does not arrest the appellant, but after the learned special judge grants regular bail to the appellant in the ED case, CBI seeks his custody. In the circumstances, a view may be taken that such an arrest by the CBI was perhaps only to frustrate the bail granted to the appellant in the ED case. So, first point is ED gives bail, you get a case on the CBI immediately, and the timing is with the ED getting bail. The first charge by the court is therefore the CBI's intentions was to somehow keep him in jail for a longer period of time. You need to answer that first.
So first of all, I'd like to say that both the judges had a different point of view, and Justice Surya held that the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal was valid and legal. But if you look at the order itself, you realize that yes, he has been granted bail. It is with conditions, and that does not in any way.
But the court has also gone on to say, like Caesar's wife, like Caesar's wife, an investigating agency must be above board. Not so long ago, the court had castigated the CBI, comparing it to a caged parrot. Allow me to complete, because I don't accept that view of yours, Shazia. The point the court has made, Shazia,
that is being created.
There's not hullabaloo. It's an observations of Justice Bhuyan. There's no hullabaloo.
More than one case.
You have no regard for the Supreme Court.
My question is, Anmol, 1 minute. Let her answer my second question. Shazia, please. Exact words. Like Caesar's wife, an investigating agency must be above board. Not so long ago, this court had castigated the CBI, comparing it to a caged parrot. It is imperative that the CBI dispels the notion of being a caged parrot. Rather, the perception should be that of an uncaged parrot. These are very strong observations.
These are very strong observations.
You can't dismiss them.
I do not speak at all either for the CBI or ED. Yes, I speak for
you are dissociating from the...
But
you are justifying everything so far.
It is a shame that nothing has changed. But it has been said before in UPA 2 of the Congress party. And that is a party Arvind Kejriwal has decided to go with, not once but many times. So it's hardly something they can use or throw it in our face, because they have totally been a part of that setup where the same thing was thrown at the CBI.
Anmol, would you like a 1 minute rebut or face my question?
What face would you...
Will you take a rebut or take my question? Then I'll give you a 1 minute rebut here. But you'll have to give her a rebut as well.
And condone yourself, having been partnered with Congress so many times over, for whom the same observations were made in very serious
don't bring
and
Congress
ambiguous
here.
terms.
They have other issues. Let's remain here. He wants to rebut you for a minute. I allow a 1 minute rebut. 1 minute only, Anmol. Yeah.
Shazia ji is very agitated today. Because today by...
Not at all. It's all happening in your mind. Look at me. I'm the picture of calmness and composure.
Can I respond? Arnab, today by granting bail to Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, the Honorable Supreme Court has unequivocally affirmed that Constitution of India stands above everyone else. संविधान जो है वो supreme है इस देश का. The Supreme Court further clarified that the CBI's arrest of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal was a deliberate attempt to keep him behind bars because he was granted bail by Enforcement Directorate case, and he was granted bail thrice, first by the regular court and twice by the Honorable Supreme Court, interim bails which were granted. And this attempt...
And how many times was he denied bail by the same court?
Please allow me to complete. Today, furthermore, the Honorable Supreme Court also said that this arrest by the CBI was part of a orchestrated conspiracy which was hatched.
Anmol, now your 1 minute rebut is over. You used it to make an opening remark, which I need to intervene and ask you my first question, please. Anmol Pawar, spokesperson of the AAP, the simple question that I have for you is this: that if your leader Arvind Kejriwal has indeed been exonerated, as you claim he has been, why has he been told strictly not to step even to his office in the Delhi Secretariat? And why has he been told not even to sign files?
Arnab, para 43 of the judgment, I must read it for your viewers, wherein Justice Bhuyan said that though I have serious reservations on clauses B and C which debars the appellant from entering the office of Chief Minister and Delhi Secretariat as well as signing files, he has very serious...
Which page is that?
Reservations on it. It's page number 31. It's page number 31. Read it for your viewers.
Okay, no, 1 minute. No. I'm telling you where you're wrong. 1 minute. Let me just see, please. You see, when you make a point, let me explain to you where I believe you're wrong. Please look closely, more closely than you're looking at, into the order of the Honorable Supreme Court, and where Justice Kant holds that the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal was legal and did not suffer from any procedural irregularity. I allowed you to make your point. Now you hear mine. where the Honorable Court says there is no merit in the contention that the CBI failed to comply with the mandate of Section 41/41A of the Code of Criminal Procedure while arresting him. And in fact, the bail was granted solely on the basis of Article 21, which says that continued incarceration for an extended period pending trial would infringe upon established legal principles and the appellate's right to liberty, traceable to Article 21 of the Constitution. And then it comes with terms and conditions applied. I know it because my case was cited also by the Supreme Court here.
No, but you haven't.
My own case was cited by the Honorable Supreme Court, so I'm aware of what the court said.
You haven't read para 43, page 31. Please read it for your viewers. Do you mean that the observations made by Justice Surya stands on a higher pedestal than made by Justice Bhuyan?
Okay, now can I respond? Can I respond to you, Anmol? Can I respond to you?
Yeah.
No, but I have a question. You know, why would see where the matter of where the excise policy goes and all the charges that go with it, and when there is not just implication but actual charge sheet of wrongdoing, there is no bail on that merit at all whatsoever. It is only because it's a matter of civil liberty, and the judges quote that and say it a few times that it is a matter only because jail should be an exception.
The Honorable Supreme Court exposed the unholy alliance of the ED, CBI and the Bharatiya Janata Party.
One minute. Shazia, 1 minute. Shazia, I have a question to follow up to what I asked Anmol, because we were on a very strong legal and technical point. And my question to you, Anmol, is this: that Anmol, I think you are being extremely unfair and you are being extremely discourteous. Anmol, you are being discourteous and unfair to the highest court of the country, which you should not do. I must only caution you by making it look. Allow me. Because you tried to make the point of view of Justice Kant out to be a dissenting judgment. It was not. Both the judges were in complete and absolute agreement.
I would
like you to stop doing that.
I would like you to read it out.
I would also like to read it out. Okay, can I ask you, am I right or wrong? One, that Arvind Kejriwal shall not visit the office of the Chief Minister and the Delhi Secretariat. Was that a joint view of both the judges or not?
Can you please read out page 31, para 43 for your viewers?
Yeah, can you please, I 100% will do that, but can you please read out exactly what is written in the final decision of the Supreme Court in the criminal appellate jurisdiction of Arvind Kejriwal versus Central Bureau of Investigation, page number 2. Page number 2, kindly have a look at it. Have you got it before you? Thank you. Thank you. And is it a joint view that he shall be bound by the statement made on his behalf that he shall not sign official files unless it is required and necessary for obtaining clearance/approval of the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi? And he shall not interact with any of the witnesses or have access to any official files connected with the case.
I can read that on page.
Yeah. You're getting confused now. You're getting confused.
No. I'm not getting confused. You are trying to evade and not reading that particular paragraph because you know that Justice Bhuyan has made very specific observation that he has serious reservations on both these conditions, which debars a sitting Chief Minister to not go to the Secretariat or sign any files. Why are you not reading it for your viewers?
I will read out.
I've asked it for the fifth time. Or should I show it to you on screen?
I want to ask you.
Do you want me to show it to you on screen?
There are observations that are made. There's also proper judgment.
Shazia ji,
it has to be concurrent.
See,
two judges in a two-judge bench.
Shazia, 1 minute. Shazia, 1 minute. I also would like to bring your attention, Shazia.
And there was nothing illegal about it.
Shazia, the respondent, the court says,
they will be discussed and there will be a trial that will be done.
Shazia, I want to read out to you.
Shazia ji, the fact is that what we have long asserted that CBI and ED have been acting as mere puppets of BJP. Today the Supreme Court confirmed that CBI operates like a cage parrot. And the moot question is,
You are claiming to be Kattar Imandar.
It is none other than Home Minister
pass any judgment on that.
Mr. Amit Shah.
No, but Shazia, a point being made here. Can I also bring in? Can I bring in?
Enforcement
and because they should
एक है तोता एक है मैना
trial is
2 साल से हम कह रहे थे आज माननीय
I bring in here. I bring in here nice poetry tonight. Now my question tonight is this, Shazia.
This is the fact. The constitutional machinery is compromised by none other than the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah. And he must resign. He's the one who controls
I would
these
like to ask
parrots.
you. I really like your tonality. But Anmol, I would like to ask you. I would like to ask you a question. Please listen to me. I'm opening up right now. I would like to bring your attention to page number 19, point number 30.
Sir, Arnab, but you will not read that. You will not read that para 43.
I will. Because
you will
I
not
am.
read. It is the sixth time
Anmol, I am asking you repeatedly.
You will not read para 43.
Okay, here's a point to you. What did the Supreme Court say when I was arrested by the Congress government?
Are we discussing your case?
Yes, we are. Because page number 19, Supreme Court refers to my case.
Or are
in
we
this
discussing
judgment,
the bail of
in this
Honorable
judgment,
Chief Minister?
have you not seen the bail order where they refer to my case? Are you blind? Do you not see what the Supreme Court refers to? I'll open. Yes, we are. I'm not discussing. Supreme Court in the context of Kejriwal's pleas referring to my case. It's a known fact. And the court says, Anmol, listen. Anmol, listen. Anmol, everybody watching the program tonight must listen to this. Where was Arvind Kejriwal and Anmol and Congress's empathy, right? When the case of Arnab Goswami versus Union of India happened, where the court today says, please take a look everyone on, the court reiterated the role of the courts in protecting personal liberty and ensuring that the investigations are not used for a tool of harassment. Referring to its earlier decision in Arnab Ranjan Goswami versus Union of India, Appendix number 5, the court observed that the court should be alive to both ends of the spectrum. The need to ensure proper enforcement of criminal law on the one side and the need to ensure that the law does not become a ruse for targeted harassment on the other.
Fair investigation is a fundamental right.
Oh, right. When it comes to you, you're investigating. When it comes to others, they're harassing. Ishkaran is opening the debate on the other side tonight. Ishkaran Bhandari, the debate is open.
And what
Arnab, Aap has spoken enough. Now it's my turn. I didn't interrupt anybody. First, Arnab, on the lighter side, you are already wearing a black coat except a tie. I think it's high time you get the band the way you are quoting page number, paragraph number. I feel it's still afternoon, I'm in court. But anyways, coming to the Arnab, one serious issue. Our government just a few days ago banned firecrackers in Delhi and they said it causes pollution on Diwali. 1 second, don't interrupt, it's a serious. We are citizens of this country, we are residents of Delhi, we have the right to speak on Delhi issues also. Few days ago, they banned firecrackers, they banned firecrackers to be burst on Diwali. Today, Kejriwal gets bail and they burst firecrackers. Is Mr. Kejriwal's bail bigger than Diwali or suddenly there will be no pollution and you don't want crackers on Diwali? And when Diwali comes, please save my clip. I want this to play when they pass orders of banning crackers on Diwali. How are they allowing crackers in Delhi on his bail when they want it not to be burst on Diwali? And I want to read Mr. Gopal Rai, their Minister for Environment. He says the Chief Minister, last year, he says that the Chief Minister does not want, 1 second, I will read it verbatim. The
शाजिया जी से ज्यादा बुरी हालत आज
on Diwali.
आप तो प्रवक्ता भी नहीं हो भाजपा.
CM Arvind Kejriwal has decided. Don't interrupt, Arnab. This needs to go out. This is important issue, Arnab. CM Arvind Kejriwal has decided firecrackers should be banned on the occasion.
Okay, but to be fair, can I come in? Can I come in and continue to quote? Can I continue to quote para, chapter and verse from the Supreme Court order? Thank you. I'll discuss the firecracker ban later. Ishkaran, don't derail the debate.
I don't see that.
My point is, and BJP should accept tonight to some extent. Please. I have ML Sharma, former CBI director. I don't want to keep him waiting. He's there on the debate as well. Mr. ML Sharma, what in your view is the implication of the fairly strong criticism of the CBI in this case, where the Supreme Court says the CBI must dispel the notion of being a caged parrot?
Arnab, you have gone through the judgment very thoroughly. This is the impression that I get. I have also cursorily gone through the judgment. Actually, it's not one judgment, there are two judgments. In Justice Surya Kant's judgment, there is no such mention, cage parrot and all that. Only that thing he says is that arrest is lawful, but he has given bail to Kejriwal primarily on the ground, please see para 39, that there are 234 witnesses and therefore trial is going to take a long time. And the legal philosophy that our judges are having these days, liberty and things like that. Now, if I go to the judgment of Justice Bhuyan, I find that he has held arrest to be unlawful, but mainly on the ground that the arrest was made more than 2 years after the registration of the FIR. Factually, it is true, but this cage parrot reference, I think para 29 or something, he has borrowed this expression from a former Chief Justice of India. To me, frankly speaking, even though I am very respectful for the Supreme Court and judges, I mean, it's not a very apt and correct thing to say. The investigating agencies have carried out the investigation. Please remember that in both the judgments, not even a single word has been said about the merits of the case. This being so, this expression, use of this expression, to me appears to be totally incongruous.
So this observation itself doesn't amount to much. You're saying that, Mr. Sharma?
It doesn't.
It doesn't amount. So,
it doesn't.
So what happens in terms of the impact on the trial?
Because I have given the reason. It will have no impact on the trial if ever trial takes place. Also,
Mr.
please
Sharma,
remember.
But having said that,
acting like a caged parrot.
Having said that, has the
Perception
CBI
matters
not
in a
delayed?
democracy.
Has the CBI not delayed the case too long? I mean, that aspect has to be looked at. I want to bring in Savio as well as Kapil Madan on that particular aspect. Has the case been delayed for too long? If this was a case when, it was an open and shut case, Savio and Kapil, then it should have been closed up by now. But the case has dragged, both the timing of the arrest, the time it is taking after that, right? And the judgment delivered by Justice Ujjal Bhuyan, who is more critical of the CBI, says that the CBI filed a total of 4 charge sheets wherein 17 persons were named as accused. Manish Sisodia and K. Kavita were named as accused among others. Appellant Kejriwal was not named as an accused in the said charge sheets. Fifth and final charge sheet was filed on 29/7/24, wherein the Kejriwal has been named as an accused. And he also said non-cooperation in the investigation is not a ground for arrest. So the issue right now, the point I'm making, Savio, Kapil, the issue right now, 1 minute, Kapil, I'll tell you one line, don't be. The issue right now is not about the merit of the case against Kejriwal. That's where the AAP may be mistaken in celebrating early. The issue is the right of an individual facing a trial which may be prolonged to get bail in the interim.
No,
one minute. I want to highlight it further. One sec. See, Anmol, the court has referred to my case and everybody says, and I'll put this on record, everybody says, 1 minute, Anmol, listen to me. Anmol, listen to me. Anmol, listen to me. Anmol, listen to me. Listen to me. Anmol, listen to me. Anmol, listen to me. I know you want to go to the political debate and not the legal debate, which I don't know why. But you see the difference, with all respect to the Honorable Supreme Court, which is, must be aware that they are court. Anmol, calm down.
These are the issues.
Okay, the issue here is, the court has nowhere said there is no prima facie case. I place most humbly before the people of this country, and I want to say this. Please let me complete what I'm saying this time. Everybody on. Shazia, wait a minute. Shazia and Anmol, wait a minute. I just say one thing and then you guys carry on. No, you both wait a minute. No, both of you wait a minute. No, be patient, Shazia. Shazia, let me make my point. Shazia, 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
It's an important
Kapil, I will come to you. I will come to you. Anmol and okay. I'll reduce the audio. If none of you are going to listen, I'll cut your audio for a minute. Listen to me. And Kapil, all I'm saying is I'm giving it to you, Kapil. Just wait a minute. I'm giving it to you. The point that needs to be made is this. The court has not said, just okay, come back. Audio need not be cut. Just wait a minute. Let me be patient. The court has not said there is no prima facie case. With greatest of respect, I thank the courts for referring to my case. However, for the purpose of discussion, it must be emphasized that Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, when he gave the order in my case, said there is no prima facie case at all against Arnab. Justice Bhuyan also has not said that now. So there's a world of difference. You get my point?
Exactly,
Kapil, go on.
That's the point I'm trying to
so
make.
Let me just give very
quick
response.
It has nothing to do with merits of the
Justice
case.
Suryakant's judgment. What did Justice Suryakant observe? He has mentioned and have observed.
Whose judgment are you reading? Whose judgment are you reading?
So I am reading Justice Suryakant's judgment, para 33. What has been said? In a functional democracy governed by rule of law, perception matters. Like Caesar's wife, an investigating agency must above board. Not so long ago, this court had castigated CBI, comparing it with a cage parrot. It is imperative that CBI dispel the notion of it being a cage parrot. Rather, the perception should be of the uncaged parrot. Now, I will refer to the judgment authored by Justice Bhuyan on arrest, which is the most important observation authored by Justice Bhuyan. What he says in para 23, he says for 22 months, CBI does not arrest the appellant, but after the learned special judge grants regular bail to the appellant in the ED case, CBI seeks his custody. In the circumstances, a view may be taken that such an arrest by the CBI was perhaps only to frustrate the bail granted to the appellant in the ED case. Now,
but does this say the arrest was illegal? No, 1 minute. Does this mean that as the court says the arrest was illegal? Kapil, counter question. Has the court said the arrest was illegal?
Oh, just a minute. Now,
no, why don't you answer? As the court said the arrest was illegal.
What has been said in para 43? In para 43 also, since the judicial discipline demand, one bench of equal strength cannot give any, contradictory judgments of a different coordinated bench. All the court have done is the court have raised concerns about the conditions of the bail. That is clause.
My point here is now, okay, Kapil, let's keep it short. I'm getting everybody in. I'm getting everybody in. Kapil C. The BJP, Savio.
If you now
complete your point.
See the ED case. He has
you have to complete your point. You can't, you're making a stream of consciousness argument.
The main thing that we need to look at, Kapil, allow me 30 seconds, is the insinuation of the Supreme Court towards the CBI and terming them as cage parrot. And that is a very important aspect because a lot of the cases that are currently being investigated by CBI, some of them are political people, some of them are socialites.
I can't say. I will not quote para without the paper in mind.
That have not reached a final conclusion. And that is one of the reasons why people are losing faith as far as the CBI and ED are concerned, even though they are doing a good job.
No, but Savio, that doesn't explain one point. That doesn't explain one point, and I want to ask Mr. ML Sharma that. Sorry, that does not explain a point. The question is speedy trial or prolonged trial? My problem with the CBI always has been, it takes a case and then sits on it, does nothing. What has the CBI done in the SSR case?
Precisely.
1 minute. What has the CBI done in the Sushant Singh Rajput case?
Exactly.
What has the CBI done so far in the RG Kaur case? The feeling one gets is that the moment a case goes to the CBI, it goes into cold storage. And that, Mr. Sharma, has become a weakness of the CBI. The court has also said, if the state prosecution agencies, Shazia also, and ML Sharma, or even courts do not have the wherewithal to protect an accused's right to speedy trial, they should not withhold bail on the ground that the crime was serious. So the question is, why did the CBI not move fast? And why did it not move earlier? Why did it move after the ED denied bail? Why were you timing it like that? What was the purpose? Was there coordination between ED and CBI? You finish your period, then I will begin mine. How fair is that for the accused? Mr. Sharma.
Yeah. See, the statements that you have made, I just don't agree with that. CBI is like Supreme Court is the last court in the country. CBI is the last agency as far as investigation is concerned. And please remember, I am distinguishing between CBI and ED. I am not for them, and I have nothing much to say about them. See, a lot of reflection, a lot of thought has to be given to the investigation. And also please remember, after arrest, charge sheet has necessarily be filed within 90 days in serious cases and 60 days in other cases. Your statement that what CBI has done in Calcutta case, frankly, I don't have any personal information, but I can guess what they have done. You see, investigations in serious cases like this that you are mentioning are not conducted for public consumption. They are conducted for the satisfaction of the trial court and the higher courts. So, therefore, this kind of general statement is not correct. Basic issue which this country has not understood so far, and I can say it with all the authority that I command, that the trial process is very slow. And please remember, I don't blame the judges. The number of judges in this country is too small. 5 crore cases pending, and you have only 18,000 judges in position. If you go by the reports of Law Commission of India, this country needs about 1 lakh district court judges. Unless this happens, the criminal justice system will go down and down and down, and it will never improve. As far as Sushant, Bombay case is concerned, see, the opinion given by, this is my personal information, opinion given by the All India Institute of Medical Sciences about the cause of death, of course I have no access to it, but I can guess, has settled the whole matter. Only
Sir,
thing is,
nobody trusts
to that extent I agree with you.
I had put out WhatsApp information with the officials, relevant officials of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, where they had contradicted this fact, and that was not investigated. It's basic level information, but problem is CBI chooses not to see things that are not convenient to it. Anmol is responding to that issue, sir, from the other side. Anmol.
Arnab, the fact is that when the bail was denied earlier to Mr. Kejriwal, the BJP spokesperson and political analysts from Bharatiya Janata Party used to shout at the top of their voice that if he were truly innocent, then bail would have been granted. And now that bail has been granted, not just once, not just twice, not just thrice, but 4 times. Once regular bail in Enforcement Directorate case, twice interim bail by the Honorable Supreme Court, and now in the CBI case, they trivialize it with saying that it's just bail. So
let him complete.
I remember one saying in Hindi कि खिसियानी बिल्ली खंबा नोचे. तो आज इनकी हालत वही है. This fits their reaction perfectly today. Because they are rattled, because they are visibly upset by the release of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, because they know कि भाई साहब शेर बाहर दिल्ली में इन्हें धराशायी करेंगे अब चौथी बार भी. They know that these conditions which they are referring to, when they are reviewed, they would be set aside. शाजिया जी बहुत परेशान हैं आज. मेरी संवेदनाएं आपके साथ हैं. My sympathies are with you. You cannot answer anything today. And the at least now you have to face the reality that even the Honorable Supreme Court has exposed you.
Why are you claiming
that CBI is a caged parrot working on the instructions of the central government?
There's nothing to do with
that the truth. They must dispel this notion that perception matters in a democracy.
In this case,
that the rule of law must prevail.
But on the Anmol, if I may, can I just come in? Anmol, since you respect the court so greatly, would you also agree that the High Court noted that a statement recorded on May 20th, 2024, a day before his arrest, contained material that prima facie seriously incriminated Arvind Kejriwal in that case. That does not change with the getting of bail.
Arnab, the trial has not even commenced.
No. But prima facie, what did the Honorable Appellate Court say? The Honorable Appellate Court said that there was prima facie incriminating evidence.
Why would he presume that he's not guilty?
I am answering your
question. Why are you
question.
saying Satyamev Jayate?
Please.
What is this to do
I am
with
answering
merits of
your
the
question.
case, of the excise policy scam,
as far as
of
PMLA
the
is
Sharab
concerned,
Ghotala? Why would you exonerate him? At least that's what you're trying to do when you do a victory lap. So you're lying through your teeth and you say...
1 minute, don't speak over each other, please. Anmol, she's countering you. It is better if you don't speak over each other. I promise you I'll give both their time.
I got you on that.
I'll come to you, Anmol, after she finishes.
The trial has not happened. Then why would you feign honesty? And why would you say there is no wrongdoing and there is no corruption whatsoever? Because this is on the basis of personal liberty and quoting of Article 21.
Shazia, can I just 1 minute. Shazia, listen now. Shazia, don't speak over me, please. Shazia, you must understand. Shazia, listen to me. You celebrate every time one of your leaders gets bail. Even when Akash Vijayvargiya, who was arrested for thrashing a municipal official with a cricket bat in 2019, was granted bail. Right, son of your senior leader, he was received with garlands and sweets as if he had achieved something major. 1 minute.
It was taken very, very badly.
My question is, Shazia, listen to me. Shazia, I am only saying, and you need to listen to me, that the BJP has very often taken bail, Shazia, why don't you listen? Shazia, 1 minute, Anmol. Shazia, I'm saying the BJP has taken the granting of bail to be an exoneration when it comes to its own leaders. Anmol, my question to you. Anmol, my question to you.
Can you repeat, Arvind, can you repeat your question?
Yeah, when you listen to me.
No wrongdoing was done.
I'm listening to you.
No corruption happened. No kickbacks happened. That the entire policy was not tweaked, and all the license fee and the commission was not taken. Can that be proven? That has not been proven. So why are you taking a victory lap? I think you're just hurrying up and just giving this impression, knowing very well that a long trial is pending.
With the use of CBI and ED, you maneuvered this illegal arrest using this CBI.
And whether it's a wholesalers or the monopoly and the South group are not involved. You have yet to prove that, my dear friend. This is only about Article 21 and personal liberty, the basis on which Kejriwal has gotten out. It has nothing